Yo, what up, what up? A2HH live on a Wednesday. Mike D, Coop here.
What up?
What up, what up? It's the first of the month, man. What's going on,
It's
brother? How
the
you doing?
first of the month.
Man, we got a lot to talk about today, man.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to you guys who tuning into the show. 7 o'clock. We here. We here. Thumbs up in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat, everybody, so we can get some more people in here. We're going to talk some music today. There's been a lot of new music that's about to actually be released, Coop. And we actually got a chance to hear some music yesterday. We got new music on Halloween, too.
I've gotten so used to not hearing music this year that I'm almost don't know what to do with myself. I might actually have multiple projects to listen to at midnight on Thursday, going into Friday.
Sounds like Jeezy's dropping something. Sounds like Ross and Meek Mill are dropping something. And I believe this Benny album that we have been anticipating for a long time with Hit Boy, we're finally going to get a chance to hear it. That could be one of those. I know we did say that we were going to do a station head when Benny and Hit Boy dropped. I mean, is that a possibility on shit? That would be tomorrow night, right? I mean, sure. What do y'all say? I mean, because if the people tune in for it, we'll rock with it. But I mean, I know that when we did this for Magic 3, we did this for Magic 2. We had a great turnout on both. But, you know what? On another note, I did listen to Magic 3 again today. I think that's still album of the year, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do it, I mean, let us know in the chat, man. Thumbs up in the chat if y'all want to do a station head debut for Benny and Hit Boy's new album. The other album that's dropping, I said Meek and Ross and Jeezy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's something else. But what I will say, man, you told me about that Rhapsody and Hit Boy. Speaking of Hit Boy, man, I hate I didn't listen to that before Monday's show. I got a lot to say about that record, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And it made me feel even more emphatic about what I said on the show the other day. Like, I could hear Megan on that record. I don't understand why Megan and Rhapsody don't make stuff together. You know what I'm saying?
Megan on that record?
I mean, I think from a stylistic, rap-wise, I could hear her collaborating with somebody like a Rhapsody. But all that aside, great song. I think it's a Song of the Year candidate, and I would love to hear Hit Boy and Rhapsody make more music together. Hit Boy's album-making ability, Rhapsody's album-making ability, and a song like this, I mean, I think it just sets it off.
She said, if I had a dick, I would be in the conversation with the greatest.
JY with the super chat says, what up, A2HH? It's been a while since I could catch a live, but I'm tuning in all the time. Y'all are number one. We appreciate that. Number one.
Well, we're going to be going live at 7 in studio now on Mondays and Wednesdays. So this is the new pull-up time slot segment. So,
And y'all been rocking with us since we kind of trying to find our times, right? But Monday, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, be here live. And if you can't catch the live, definitely catch that rebroadcast.
Yeah.
But we're going to make sure we're here for the people. I'm going to make sure we are here for the people. You got something to say, Coop?
No, I was about to say something shady, but don't worry about it.
We had a real heated show. What was that? Monday. We spoke on a lot of things. But I do want to start with some sports stuff.
Go ahead, run it.
KD's your guy.
Yeah.
The Suns lost last night.
They did.
Suns are your pick for NBA champions this year.
Yeah.
And Victor Wembanyama was on the Spurs side, and they won last night. Do you think Victor's the real deal? Do you think he's KD's replacement? Because he says KD's his guy.
His game is KD's game. I say this respectfully about what I've seen. His basketball IQ is not where LeBron or Kevin Durant's was at that age. So that is what he's missing. He's got the gifts. His basketball IQ is not there where theirs was.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even in LeBron's class with basketball IQ.
Well, not many people are.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
And the arc in which KD basketball IQ like multiplied in volumes in those early years, I don't see that just yet. But it's only been a few games.
Yeah.
But more troubling is the shitty refereeing that's already going on early in the season. Kevin Durant was literally on the bench after that play, wiping blood in two separate places off his face. It's blatant foul. Phoenix still shouldn't have let them be in position to win that game. But that game was lost because it's a bad call by the refs. But that's also why there's 82 games. But just sports officiating has just been less than stellar lately. Most notably in the NBA the last few seasons. Last night was just more evidence of that.
Well, even in college football, you saw what happened in Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
I mean, you're talking to a Notre Dame fan, Mike. You know how many times we catch the shaft? I'm still like having flashbacks of Reggie Bush's punk ass pushing Matt Leinart in illegally. Like,
man.
Ohio State just
I love that USC team. That was an incredible team.
I'm glad Vince Young beat them.
You're a hater. JY with the super chat says, this time is easier for Australian time. Appreciate it. Well, that's what's up. I mean, 7 sounds like it's good for everybody for the most part. If it's good with Australia, who is it not good with then?
What up to the Aussies?
What up to the Aussies, man? They've always tapped in with the hip hop. All right, to your statement about his basketball IQ. He didn't play college basketball here in the States, right? That's one thing. Other thing, who would you say, who's come from that foreign basketball system did have that basketball IQ?
Tony Kukoc, Drazen Petrovic.
Well, Tony played for a long time.
Arvydas Sabonis,
Luka, okay. You think Luka has Luka's basketball IQ is
off the charts.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole and a selfish player, but his IQ is there.
I like Luka a lot, and I think for the people who have watched this show, I mean, I think it's too early to say that.
No, it's not. When you have that type of talent, he's not going to win anything.
He doesn't have a lot of talent over there. I think he just got Kyrie.
Who's his sidekick?
It's Kyrie. But who else they got? They're 2 guards. Like, who else they got?
Nobody told them to sign Kyrie.
No, I feel you, but it's not like he has a load of talent over there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like the way he plays basketball, Mike. Like, I like the way he plays basketball, like, individually, but his team game sucks.
You think he's a ball hog, or you think he's a volume shooter, or what is it?
All the above, plus arrogant and selfish as fuck. And out of shape more times than he needs to be. Including this season when they said he was getting in shape, and I'm still looking at him and like, no, you still look like you were fucking out of shape.
So do you think...
At like 24.
Do you think Wembanyama
a sit-up
is going to improve his basketball knowledge? Because, his basketball IQ, because he plays for Popovich, plays for the Spurs in that system.
No, we are going to see if he takes a KD type of leap. And this is what I mean about basketball IQ is like, KD's basketball IQ was high except for the passing and defensive part of his game. Mm-hmm. But you saw it jump and jump and jump, and to the point now where you're seeing Kevin Durant like doing no-look bounce passes at 7 feet now. And so do I think he's on that arc or trajectory? I think it's still a little too early to tell. But, I mean, the striking thing to me was just the fact that it's like, well, Kevin Durant had to shake and bake him to get that shot off on him and fade on him.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. With that type of athleticism and that type of size, does it even really matter what his basketball IQ is at that point, as long as he can fit into a system?
A lot of this is going to depend on how long Popovich actually coaches this team.
Well, whoever Popovich has coming up next is probably going to be Popovich 2.0 anyway.
It never happens like that, though.
All of the people that come from his tree seem to do pretty well.
How many NBA champion coaches have come from his tree?
Kerr comes from him. Mike Budenholzer comes from him.
Okay.
I feel like I'm missing somebody. I think Mike Woodson comes from him.
I think so.
So yeah, there's a lot of really great coaches that come from him. So when he steps down, I'm pretty sure whoever is going to take his spot, which could be Tim Duncan or something, who knows? It's going to be all right.
Okay, so here's the thing. He does have Tim Duncan and David Robinson in that organization.
He does.
And Popovich.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah. He has all the tools to be one of the greats.
Can I bring up something right quick? Because I know people on this show feel like I cape and I cap for KD because he's a Libra and because I like his game. But let me be honest with you about something. If Steph Curry or LeBron James would have been the 4th fastest player in NBA history to reach 27,000 points, with the only people ahead of them being Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it would be the sports talk of the world today, would it not?
Well, why don't you think that KD gets the mainstream media attention and adoration that Steph and LeBron get? Because I agree with that.
See, this is what I don't know if you've noticed. It's like I like the greats who get the have-not treatment from the media. And that's what he gets. He literally...
Like Nas.
Correct. Think about this. The only 3 players to score 27,000 points in fewer games is Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, and Michael Jordan. Mike, those are the 3 greatest scorers of all time other than him.
They are.
What does that say about him?
I mean, we know what he is.
But why don't we talk about it like that?
Why doesn't the media talk about it
That's
like
what
that?
I'm saying. So
what's their problem with KD?
I don't know. It's like, it's not a KD problem. It's like, what makes you think LeBron and Steph are so much better than this guy? Because they're not. Like, LeBron's a little bit better. Steph is a couple notches below.
Steph's not. And I mean, let's be real, guys. Like,
Steph can't play defense.
I know we love Steph, and I love Steph.
Steph ain't
and
never
you know
played
what?
defense in
if
his
we
life.
want to be perfectly honest, right? If we're talking about favorite players, I like Steph better than I like KD as a player or whatever. But if we're talking about drafting somebody, nobody's going to draft Steph over KD. That's not happening.
Right.
Yeah. So
that would be like drafting Wes Walker over Randy Moss, like just on talent and like look.
I'd rather watch Steph play than watch KD play, just on some, personal. I love the 3-point shot. I love, the way Steph
Steph's
plays the
box
game,
office.
whatever. But yeah, that's not even a conversation. Like, who's the better player? That's not even. I mean, he proved it once they got on the same team.
I mean, so how about this? This man just scored 27,000 points, and the talk of the conversation is how good is Wemby going to be? Not just from you and me, but from everybody. It's like he's the 4th fastest man to 27,000 points. Hello,
Mad Max with the super chat says, if Wemby don't at least touch Duncan's rim, he's a bust. Pause. That's kind of, and come on, man. Like, that's Tim Duncan, man.
I was about to say, okay, so here's where the expectations for Wembanyama are different. Tim Duncan is an easy top 10 player.
Mm-hmm.
KD, in my opinion, is a top 10-ish player. That's too much to ask of him. Those guys don't grow on trees.
You know what? We've never seen anybody with his size, athletic ability all in one. So I agree with what you're saying, but he doesn't grow on trees either. He's like a Shaq in a sense. Like, we're not going to see too many Shaqs running around here.
I'm just interested to see how he's going to hold up with this game and that body. Because even since KD would be the closest comp to him.
Injury's the only thing, man.
Well, think about where KD would be without that Jones fracture or that ACL. Right. And so a lot of that has to do with his size and limber, skinny frame, which Wembanyama has. Except for Wemby's about 5 inches taller than KD.
That's
and so
crazy.
it makes me worry injury-wise about him the same way I've always worried about KD. And I don't know if you noticed, KD been a little nicked the last few years.
One thing that works for Victor is the fact that there's load management in this league, and Popovich is actually the one who started load management. And the other thing that works for him is this league is a lot more soft than other leagues in other decades before it. So he can sustain. It's not like they're gonna beat him up in the paint or anything. Like, that's not happening. Pause. Mad Max with the super chat says, KD is not as charismatic as those guys. LOL. I mean, Duncan's better than Bron, Steph, and KD, and no one talks about him. Mad Max also says, only guy I see getting snubbed by the media while getting hype from them was Kobe. Did Kobe get snubbed by the media? I remember when the media
No.
I remember when the media ranked Kobe the 94th player in the league. That was fucked up. That was ESPN who did that, actually. I think, and then the league was also, or ESPN again, I think was making stories about the fact that Kobe was taking the Lakers' money and not putting them in position to rebuild. I remember that. Okay. But other than that, and other than, the Colorado thing, I feel like the media was pretty kind to Kobe. They respected Kobe.
First of all, when the Colorado thing was happening, there was nothing that anybody in the media could say about Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe was the best player in the league when that was going on.
And he said all the right things. The person that...
Get that going out there and busting everybody's ass every night.
This is the analogy I'll give.
Get off a
Allen
plane,
Iverson was Jodeci. Kobe was Boyz II Men to the media.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Kobe said all the right things, did all the right things, went out there and played. You know what I'm saying? He had a good image. He was out there on, you know what I'm saying, with Moesha. He was on television. Remember the show Hang Time? He was doing that stuff. Like, so yeah, I can't say that. Maybe
taking Brandy to the prom and shit.
Yeah, maybe people who caught Kobe in the latter part of his career feel that way, but nah. Especially when Kobe went to, was it China, the Olympics? Mm-hmm. He was the guy. He was the belle of the ball, all that. So yeah, I think the media was fine with Kobe.
They were great
now,
with Kobe.
KD, nah.
Here's the reality of the matter. First of all, what if I were to tell you that the only thing that Kobe has over KD offensively is in the post? Right. Kobe's not a better shooter than KD. God rest his soul. On any level. We got evidence to prove that.
He's a better clutch shooter, in my opinion. But I get what you're saying. Like, from a night in, night out, if they were doing that shootout.
Can I ask you something? Did Kobe ever have to play a LeBron type of character in the NBA Finals?
Whose fault is that?
No. I'm asking a question.
Whose
You're talking
fault
about his
is that?
clutchness. Hold on. When is clutch?
No,
clutch
I
is
agree
the finals,
with what you're
right?
saying.
KD's played LeBron 3 times. Who did Kobe play like LeBron? Did you say that he's clutch like that? Because last time I checked,
he played.
Last time I checked, Shaq won 3 MVPs, and he couldn't sniff an MVP until Shaq was good and gone. And as much as I love Paul Pierce is not in Kobe and KD's stratosphere, and definitely not LeBron.
KG, Allen Iverson's, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce.
Respectfully to all those guys, and you know how I feel about Iverson. Ain't none of them guys even close to fucking with KD or LeBron. I'm sorry.
Those guys were beating LeBron. And the other part of it
collectively as a team.
No. When the Lakers went to the finals and had to face Orlando, that Orlando team beat that Cavs team. The table was set for that to be a LeBron and Kobe finals. They had the little bobbleheads. You remember that?
I remember the Nike commercial.
Yeah. So the table was set for that. And honestly, that might have worked out in LeBron's favor, because if that was the only finals that he would have went to against Kobe and would have lost that one, it might not have been a good look.
All I'm saying is that young prime Kobe wasn't even the best player on his team in clutch moments. That was Shaq outside of the Indiana series. I'm not finished. No, I'm not finished. No, I'm not finished because I know you're about to do this. Let's go to the Detroit Pistons finals. Yeah. You know the one he shot 37% in with his clutch ass?
Yeah, because
37% in the finals?
I watched that finals.
You sure he's more clutch than KD? Because KD's finals numbers are crazy, and it's definitely not no 37% shooting.
I will say this. Tayshaun Prince had a glove on him, man. He was just too long for him. Pause. Why does this keep happening?
You talking about Tayshaun Prince? You talking about Tayshaun Prince?
Tayshaun Prince was a great defender. Come on.
No, that's Kobe Bryant, Mike. He's one of the 5 greatest scorers this game has ever seen. Don't give me Tayshaun Prince.
This man had like a 7'3"
Don't give me Tayshaun Prince.
wingspan.
No. Give me Scottie Pippen. Give me prime Scottie Pippen or prime Kawhi. Don't feed me that Tayshaun Prince. He should have bullied Tayshaun Prince in the post.
He bullied Scottie Pippen.
he bullied old Scottie Pippen.
Scottie wasn't that old.
Yes, he was.
Not that old.
I'm sorry. No.
He was younger than what KD is now.
Prime defensive Scottie Pippen put Magic Johnson in check. Never forget that.
Esquire with the Super Chat says, Kobe was indeed snubbed by the media. That's the reason why he was voted by the media as the 4th in MVP, averaging 35, 5, and 5 with Smush Parker on his team. I mean, what people got to understand about seasons like that, if your team is like 8th or 7th seed, you're probably not going to get in the top 3 of MVP voting.
KD has more top MVP finishes than Kobe does, Mike. You want to explain that?
Somebody in the chat said Scottie Pippen was 45 years old. That's like coming to America.
He was in his mid-30s when Kobe was doing that to him. He was like 35, 36. He was
younger than KD is right now.
He's right at KD's age right now, but Scotty's not KD either. All I'm saying is that,
you know what? Scottie was younger than when Jordan won his 6th ring without a lot of help from Scottie.
It's not fair to compare Michael Jordan to Scottie.
All I'm trying to say is when you're comparing ages.
No. I'm just saying when you're saying that Kobe is more clutch than KD, I'm just saying I have evidence to the contrary.
I tell you this, as a person who rooted against Kobe Bryant teams.
37% against the Pistons.
As a person who rooted against Kobe Bryant teams, when you see that man in the fourth quarter, you fear that individual on the other end of the court. You just do.
Here's what I'll tell you about.
It's an intangible thing. I see what you're saying from a statistics standpoint. You're pulling out a series that none of those guys play well in, honestly.
No, Shaq averaged 28 and 14, Mike.
Did he?
Yes. Go pull up the numbers, my G.
That must have been a
Shaq
tough
was out
one.
there beasting them, and they still lost in 5 games. Go pull up the numbers, Mike.
Yeah, we got to pull that one up because I don't remember it being like that.
Okay, first of all, everybody from 1999 to 2004, not named Tim Duncan, got ragdolled by Shaq if they played him in the playoffs.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
And he did it to Tim a couple times, too.
This is what I was going to say. Any of the guys that we're talking about, whether it be LeBron, KD, whatever, if they're on Shaq's team in 2000, 2001, they're the number 2 guy. It's just what it is.
Correct. So a lot of his clutchness you're talking about?
I'm talking about after Shaq, really.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he did most of his work with Shaq.
Did he?
Because he was in position to because of Shaq.
He did most of his winning with Shaq, but I think
that's when you have to be
legacy,
clutch, though, Mike. That's what I'm saying.
He had to be more clutch having to go against those Spurs teams, having to go against, Boston.
He shot 5 for 23 in Game 7, Mike. That's not clutch. Against Boston.
Oh, man, come on.
I thought you said he was clutch. What's up with 5 for 23? That's Game 7 in L.A., Mike. 5 for 23.
Is it not clutch that when you're having an off game to go out there and get 19 rebounds as a shooting guard?
We've discussed the 19 rebounds and Kendrick Perkins not being on the floor.
Oh, my God. We see who the Kobe hater is. I thought I was a Kobe hater back in the day.
I'll take Kobe over LeBron for a game.
The Raising Head with the super chat says Nas called Kobe a coon on
These are
Streets
our heroes.
Disciple.
Yeah, these are our heroes.
Esquire with the super chat says the media also sided with Shaq during the feud and acted like Shaq was innocent, even though Shaq admitted his role. And Shaq was jealous of Penny too. I will say this, and I love Shaq. And like I said, in a vacuum, Shaq will probably be my number 1 pick, even over Michael Jordan in a vacuum, right? If I didn't know. Yeah. No, obviously, no. Cool.
I'm not picking nobody who can't shoot free throws first.
Come on, man. Coming out of LSU and coming out of North Carolina, you're going to pick Shaq over Michael. But this is what I will say.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you why. Rest said, he said, what they say, Houston said, what? They said, hold on, what Portland say is like, oh, we got a 2-guard. We got Clyde Drexler. Like, draft Michael Jordan, play him at center.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody talk about Shaq like that coming out of college. Oh, put Shaq anywhere. Shaq's a game changer.
But I'm going to say this, though. The media has always seemed to coddle Shaq for whatever reason. It's everybody else's fault but Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media seems to take Shaq's side whenever and whatever, even with the Dwight Howard stuff.
You're talking post-Orlando Shaq.
Yes.
Orlando Shaq got criticized like hell.
Yeah, he did.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, he did.
Got undressed in the finals.
Because at that point, he hadn't won anything either.
No, I said he got undressed.
Yeah. I mean, they deserved that.
He didn't have low post moves until Akeem schooled him in those finals.
Mad Max to the super chat says KD is getting guarded by LeBron James, is a bad defender, and Kobe being guarded by Prince is totally different. Prince is 6'9" and athletic. Coop, what are you saying? Right, okay. I agree with Mad Max.
Okay,
Esquire with the super chat. Hold on, let me get this one in. He says Russ won MVP at the 7th seed.
Facts.
Moses Malone won as a bottom seed. Kareem won MVP in the season where he didn't even make the playoffs. Selective memory. Okay, some of these other individuals you're talking about are ancient, but the Russell thing, he averaged a fucking triple-double, something we hadn't seen in like 30, 40 years. So that's why he won from the 7th seed. It's different averaging a triple-double the whole season than averaging 35, 5, and 5. It's different.
The guy who was arguably the best or second best player in the league left him and he shined. That's why Russell Westbrook won MVP.
Exactly.
Right.
And you got to look at what the rest of the league is doing too. You know what I'm saying? And let's not sit here and shit on what the Phoenix Suns and Steve Nash were doing. I mean, at the time, they were playing great basketball, and to give the MVP to somebody who's playing from the 7th seed and not, the point guard is running this Phoenix team and doing some things that people hadn't seen at the time is wrong.
So, Mike, this is what I mean. Okay, so First of all, you and Mad Max don't know what you're talking about. Because in 2012, remember the 2012 finals? You know LeBron James was first team all defense that year, right?
He should be every year.
You know LeBron was the MVP that year, right? Mm-hmm. You know Kevin Durant averaged 30 points against him and shot 50% from the field in the finals, and that was being guarded by LeBron. Kobe's never had to deal with anybody like that. Kobe's never had to guard and be guarded by a first team all NBA defense and offensive player who was also the MVP. And he damn sure didn't go for 30 with 50% from the field if he did play somebody comparable to that.
But Coop, let's be honest.
37% for a 5-game series still holds, and so does 5 for 23 in Game 7 at home, my G.
With the length and the athleticism, it's much easier for KD to pull up on LeBron or pull up over LeBron than it is for Kobe to pull up over somebody like Tayshaun.
You can't teach height.
Tayshaun's 6'9" with like a wingspan of like 7'3".
How tall is Kobe?
6'6".
Kobe is not 6'6",
He
Mark.
is,
He's
man.
6'8".
No, he's not. You're thinking about Tracy McGrady.
6'7" at least.
He's not. Jordan was actually taller than Kobe. If you find
Jordan is not taller than Kobe,
find
Mike.
all the
That's
pictures,
wild.
Find all the pictures of them standing
Mike,
next to each other.
I know you're bugging because James Harden is 6'5", and Kobe is noticeably taller than James Harden when they play each other.
I don't think James Harden's 6'5". You know what?
No.
Look up Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant standing together. Find me one where Kobe's towering over Jordan.
He's not towering over him, but he's an inch taller than Mike.
No, Pippen towers over Jordan because he's an inch taller than Mike.
No, Kobe. Scotty's 6'8".
Scotty's 6'7".
He's not. Mike, his rookie card literally says 6'7.5".
Okay, Esquire with the super chat
Put the shoes on, 6'8".
Coop, you're naming 2 bad shooting performances. Watch Game 7 in 2000 Western Conference Finals and compare Shaq and Kobe's numbers coming back from 15 going into the 4th.
First of all, the Spurs series. He's talking about the Spurs series. I'm going to give Kobe the Spurs series. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give Kobe the Pacers series. Those were the 2 best series he ever played, clutch-wise.
What about the you said the Sixers, right? No.
The Sixers.
I blew them out.
Shaq averaged like 36 and 20 or some shit, Mike. That wasn't Kobe's series.
Poor Mutombo. We got to get to some hip-hop, man. We're going to be on this all day.
Wild.
Man,
y'all acting like Kobe was the man on these teams. It's like, no. They were like, he didn't have to do nothing to hit a couple buckets in the 4th quarter because Shaq couldn't hit free throws. That's not being clutch. You have Shaq.
Mad Max of the Super Chat says 2 of them 5 for 23 shots were in the last 2 minutes. He showed up in the clutch and had clutch assist to Artest. Yes, who made that shot?
No, Ron, hold on. Oh, it's clutch assist now?
Clutch assist.
Clutch assist?
Now that's a new one.
When the fuck have we ever said clutch assist or clutch rebounds, Mike? Since you bringing up the rebounds and Mad Max bringing up the assist.
I don't think I even said that about like
Very
LeBron
problematic
or
how y'all behaving. When we're talking clutch and we're talking Kobe, all you niggas know we talking about shooting the damn ball. I don't know why y'all trying to bring up some rebounds and assists like Kobe ass is Magic Johnson or John Stockton with the ball. Y'all are wild.
Well, see, this is the thing. He did whatever it needed to take to win. Like, you know, James Harden's one of those examples. James Harden's such a great player.
No,
when he's
not.
having an off game, he doesn't do the other things that can help the team.
No, he's not a great player.
You don't think James Harden's a great player? Okay. Esquire
hold on. How you feel about, if he's so great, the Clippers are the favorite right now, right? Because they got Westbrook, Paul George, and creaky knees to go with Harden. Creaky knees, PG, Harden, Westbrook, right? If Harden is who you say he is, they're the favorites.
Kawhi's
right?
over there too, right?
Creaky knees. Creaky knees? You ain't heard about creaky knees?
They should be the favorite then, right?
Right. If Harden is who y'all saying who he is, they should be the favorites, right?
They should be.
Because they're literally walking around with 2 regular season MVP winners in Westbrook and Harden, and a 2-time finals MVP in creaky knees, and an all NBA defense and offensive player in PG. If Harden's who y'all think he is, and he's not, we're about to find out, creaky knees in the squad taking the whole thing, long as creaky knees don't go creaky.
So you think that the Suns would beat them in the series?
I'm looking forward to them beating the Suns in the series. I mean, the Suns beating them in the series. Hold on, didn't they just beat them last year? Right, creaky knees.
Esquire with the super chat says, so averaging 35, 5, and 5 in the modern era where the league averaged 92 points isn't MVP worthy. Nash averaged 18-10, which are 3rd team all NBAs today. I mean, if you look at it on paper, sure. But you have to understand that, again, that Phoenix team was the number 1 seed. And you know, it is what it is.
So Shaq's the one that got robbed in Steve Nash's MVPs.
I could see that.
Not Kobe. That's why I'm saying, yep. No, Shaq's the one that got robbed.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd got robbed by Tim Duncan one time.
Yeah. Esquire with the Super Chat says, it's actually the Blazers series. Get your facts right.
He wasn't clutching the Blazers series.
He wasn't? They made that comeback.
The 15-point comeback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Well, Scottie Pippen was missing layups.
I'm about to say, okay, so now we have a difference of opinion. There's a difference between being clutch and somebody else failing miserably. As in, Scottie Pippen couldn't hit a fucking shot and then couldn't hit a shot and started passing the ball to Rasheed Wallace who was being guarded by who? Right.
Mad Max with the Super Chatter. We're going to get on to the next topic. We got
to get off of this.
Yeah. Mad Max says, same Shaq that was in the Western Conference Finals in 2000 and had less points than Kobe, less rebounds, less assists, shot worse from the field, had more to do. More turnovers.
The Western Conference Finals against Portland?
All right.
We're going to have to check Mad Max. Go ahead and go to the next topic while I put Mad Max in this tape.
Well, you heard the 50s in the Club just went diamond. The single, that is. And shout out to 50, man, because that is an incredible accomplishment when you have an album that goes diamond, and then the lead single on that album is now diamond as well. 10 million sold for the people who don't know in the U.S., so congratulations to 50 on that. I want to kind of bring up the conversation. Is In the Club a top 20 hip-hop song all time? We always talk about the top hip-hop songs all the time. It's one of the biggest hits ever.
Okay, so I'm going to submit something to you, and we talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think In the Club is better than They Reminisce Over You?
I don't think it's a better song, but do I think it's going to be, you know, have more legs, be more important?
I got a few more for you.
Mm-hmm.
Cream.
No.
Award Tour.
Hell no. First of all, let me preface this by I'm not a huge fan of In the Club anyway.
No, I wasn't. I
wasn't when it came out.
You're talking about 20 biggest hits.
It wasn't one of my favorite songs on the album either. Like What Up Gangsta was my shit like that. So
that beats
pretty much any song that you name, I'm probably going to say I like better than In the Club, but I'm trying to take my personal preference out of it.
If you want to talk about 20 biggest hits.
Right.
Yes. 20 greatest songs. No.
Because I think it comes into the conversation with like a What's My Name from Snoop. A still DRE type of thing.
Right. So those songs aren't better than like Deep Cover, Nothing But a G Thing, Cream, Award Tour, They Reminisce Over You, Fight the Power, Children's Story.
I think still DRE is better than In the Club.
I don't know if I agree with that, Mike.
Mall 7 with the Super Chat says Harden is not a great player. He cheats the game and is a one-trick pony.
Yes.
All he does is shoot that lazy travel step back three, and he folds like a lawn chair in the playoffs.
Straight up. I'm going to tell you. How about
Harden's impressive because he has an unstoppable move. He has a move that you know is coming, but nobody can stop it.
That move used to be unstoppable. That's not the case anymore. You're thinking about James Harden from 4 years ago.
Right.
The most dangerous version of James Harden is actually floor general James Harden. The reason that he's not great to me is because his greatest resource is actually the fact that when he plays point guard, Mike, he is frighteningly good.
I see the picture that's on the screen. This is hilarious. Anyway, let's get back. It was a James Harden picture. He's like, anyway.
So disrespectful.
Let's get back to In the Club. So, all right, top 20 hip-hop hit of all time. So, okay, we got different lists here. We got greatest hip-hop songs, and we got, like, I guess, biggest hip-hop hits.
Right.
It's
one of the 20 biggest hits, easy.
Easy. I mean, it's probably one of the 10 biggest hits.
Go.
I mean, how many hits are bigger than In the Club?
Go, shawty.
Yeah. I mean, how many are bigger?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, it's up there, but is it better? It's like
top 50 hip-hop song all time?
Yeah, it'd have to make a top 50 list.
Top 30?
How about this? And not to be funny or to throw him any shade because he's had a better career than a lot of these guys, but I look at In the Club the way single-wise, the way I look at something like I Got It Made by Special Ed or It Takes Two with Rob Bass and Easy Rock. That's how I look at In the Club. It's one of those all-time great singles. But
I got
songs, culture-wise,
Yeah, because like I told you, I like a lot of 50 songs better than that song,
Well,
even when it came out. So, yeah.
Well, it's hard. Even to your point, Mike, the best song on the album is probably the song right before In the Club. That's Many Men.
Right. Either Many Men or What Up Gangsta. Best songs on the album.
Right. So the two best songs on the album happened before In the Club. So it's like when you're like, it's one of the 50 greatest rap songs ever. It's like, I don't even know if it's the top 3 rap song on his album.
And see, that's the thing, man. Like, I remember seeing a list, and I might have spoken about this before. I forgot what publication did it, but they had Rosa Parks as like a top 30 hip-hop song all time. And I was like, man, I always skip that song on Akumanai. I don't even know if Rosa Parks is a top 5 song on Akumanai.
I don't know if it's a top 5 Outkast single.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Bonds Over Bad Dad.
Players Ball.
Players Ball is better than Rosa Parks.
Elevators.
Yeah. Elevators.
Get Up, Get Out. Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music.
I was going to say even Benz and Beam is a better song.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They made so many songs better than Rosa Parks that were actually singles. Now, it's 50's best single, and I think that's why people hold on to it.
It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's his best single.
It's a great debut single. Even though he had like the warm up with Wankster.
And you know how late we are getting this information? Plug literally told me this diamond plaque was coming in about this time last year.
Yeah. People have a heads up.
This certification shit be taking too long. I knew a year ago that he was about to get a diamond plaque for In the Club because the plug told me.
In the Club with the plug.
Right.
Esquire with the super chat says, just admit your KD bias is the impetus behind the Kobe slight, LOL. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 blocks, game winner against Phoenix in 2006. Decimated Denver and Phoenix in the closeout game in 09 and 10.
All due respect to Kobe. KD ain't never been the number 2 option on any team. How about Kobe?
If he played with Shaq, he would have been. All fairness to...
Woulda, shoulda, coulda don't matter over here, Mike.
When you play with Shaq, it's different, man.
So stop making it seem like this guy is so clutch when he was number 2.
I'm not counting his clutch with that team.
You can't say that the number 2 guy is one of the most clutch players of all time.
I'm speaking of Kobe's clutch play after Shaq. Him and Shaq separated.
Okay, so you're talking about...
That's what I'm speaking to.
And what I'm speaking about is you're talking about 2 or 3 years because it took about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years?
Yeah, hold on, pause. It took him about 2 or 3 years after Shaq to get back to that finals level and to start even being in position to have those clutch performances y'all are talking about. And it literally was a 3-trip finals run where he showed that clutchness. And so go put that up against...
So you're saying that's a short run?
I'm saying that's a short clutch run, correct.
OG Winston with the super chat says, gin and juice or In the Club? I'm going to go Gin and Juice. Again, it's a lot of songs I like more than In the Club. But if I'm being objective, In the Club would win that, I think.
I don't know who you are anymore.
No,
you just got done talking about Doggy Style. I just asked you
I personally like Gin and Juice more. What's My Name is probably one of the best overall rap singles to ever come out. But if I'm being objective and we talk about like, I don't know. Because I remember when so much drama and everybody knows every single word to Gin and Juice. That's what I'm saying. This is like, okay, so when I don't know. That's a good one. So we should put that in the poll.
Put it in the poll. But this is what I'm saying. When we're talking about Gin and Juice, it's like, no, Mike, that's different. It's like, is Gin and Juice one of the top 20 rap singles ever? It's like, fuck yeah, that's easy. When it's like In the Club, it's like, oh, I don't know. We got to think about it.
But you know what makes me think about Gin and Juice is the fact that What's My Name is, to me, a better song.
It's a better beat. Not a better song.
I think What's My Name's the better song.
No. I don't know about that.
It's a better
objectively. I was actually about to tell you the hook is where Gin and Juice might be winning.
I think that's close.
Rolling down the street, smoking in dope.
But then you got
gin. No, Mike, that's more epic.
Snoop Dogg. No. I don't know, man.
I love Snoop. I love Doggy Style.
I don't know, man.
But if we're ranking the singles on Doggy Style objectively, I'll tell you that Gin and Juice is better than What's My Name.
Okay, I'll tell you this. Objectively, if I'm pulling my personal preferences out of it, I think Gin and Juice did have more of an impact than What's My Name. My music ears listen to What's My Name, and I say that's the better song. You know what I mean? But you're right.
But how many people, and motherfucker, hold on, what? I got chicks in
the living room getting it on. Everybody knows every single word.
6 in the morning. So what you want to do?
Yeah.
I got to pop. Everybody.
Yeah,
But
everybody
for
knows.
what? We don't love these hoes.
Every
Yeah.
single word. It's
So
like
we
on
gonna
some
smoke
slick
an ounce
Rick
of it.
shit.
Yes, G's up,
Yeah.
hoes down.
Yeah,
While we
right.
bounce- yeah, everybody knows the word stop that. You know what part of
I
In the
think
Club?
I think
you know
it is better than In the Club.
It
actually.
is because you know the
Yeah.
only part of In the Club that every single person knows? Go, 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 shawty.
They
It's
know the
your
hook.
birthday. And the hook. You know every single word to Gin and Juice and the hook, and you sing along the entire way through, and you can't even help yourself when it comes on not to sing it.
Yeah, later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with a gang of Tangeray and a fat ass J. It's a bubonic chronic that made me choke.
Shit, this ain't no joke.
Jeez.
I had to back up off of
And
it and
he's
sit my
spitting
cup
too,
down.
man.
Tangeray and Chronic, yeah, I'm fucked up now.
Even that whole everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in. Like, yeah, these
Now
are standards.
that I got me some Seagram's gin. Everybody knows these words, Mike. It's
Yeah.
like Gin and Juice is a top 5 hip hop
I'm
single of all
underrating
time.
Gin and
You
Juice
are.
because of how great Doggy Style is and
You
how great
are.
What's My Name
That's
is.
why I keep
and
trying-
Murder Was the Case.
That's why I keep trying
and
to
Doggy
tell
Dog
people-
World. And what's the other one? It Ain't No Fun.
Mike, there's a reason Gin and
crazy.
Juice was #1 on the rap charts for 6 months in 1994.
Doggy Style's better than Into the 36 Chambers.
That's what I was
say that
asking you.
respectfully.
I was stationhead battle.
I say that respect. I would love to do that. I will put Doggy Style up against damn near any album,
Me
and
too.
that's real.
Me too. Doggy Style is one of those albums that scare me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's frightening how
I'll put
good
it
that
up
album
against
is.
Illmatic. Yeah, I said it.
I'll put it up against the Chronic. Keep telling y'all that.
Yeah.
Doggy Style's better than the
And
Chronic.
honestly, you know what? Me and you used to debate about that before this show even started, and I used to side with the Chronic because
The social commentary.
of the social commentary and the
just not
range that it has content-wise over, Doggy Style. But Doggy Style's the ultimate gangster party.
It's the ultimate gangster party.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And I also said that there's no Little Ghetto Boy on Doggy Style,
not.
but you got Murder Was the Case, though.
There's not. And in all respect, dude, and you know how I feel about Lil Ghetto Boy? Murder Was the Case is the better record.
It is. It's hard to admit, but it is.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
CJ
It's
Kid
just
with the
gangsta
super
as
chat
hell.
says, is In the Club better than Hate It or Love It?
Yes.
Yes. Illmagic with the super chat says, James Harden's, a.k.a. Titties Over Titles. Strip club chicken wings over
Yeah.
championship rings.
When James-
Cheesecake over winning with my teammates.
When James Harden goes to major cities like New York, LA, DC, Atlanta, Houston, the strippers smile, and so do the ball players because they know where James Harden's going to be, and it's not on the fucking court playing hard.
Mad Max with the super chat
It's an
says,
event when he comes down here, Mike. It's like, oh, James is coming. It's like Trick City.
it's like that scene of Players Club when they
Yes.
ring the alarm or whatnot.
Yes, it's really that with him.
And there's Ron with the picture again.
It's legendary. This nigga is whack.
Mad Max in the super chat says, until KD wins a chip as a leader of a team, don't compare him to Bean. He's Moses Malone. He's Moses Malone, a guy who you add to a team that's great to put over, not build around.
Hey, hate to be the one to break it to people. Kobe and KD got the same number of finals MVPs and regular season MVPs. And one guy got better shooting percentages across the board.
You're picking KD on your team over Kobe.
Inherent fundamentally, yes.
You're going to the playoffs.
I'm taking.
And you're taking Kobe or you taking KD?
Without Shaq?
Yeah, without Shaq. Yeah. Without Steph, too. Yeah.
Okay, so
Since we're going to play that game.
So did KD not go to a finals without Steph?
He lost.
I ain't what I asked you. Kobe done lost finals too. Kobe lost the
But
finals
Kobe
without Shaq.
went to finals and won without Shaq.
Okay.
2 of them.
Still early.
Still early.
Still early.
That's your answer to
Still
that.
early. No. All jokes aside, am I wrong? Who's the better shooter from the free throw line? It's KD. From long range, it's KD. From mid range, it's KD. They both got 1 MVP. They both have 2 finals MVPs. All I'm saying is it's conversational. Now, in an all-time great conversation about the work that Kobe did put in with Shaq, I would put Kobe in the top 10 ahead of KD. But when I mean I would put him in the top 10, it'd be like Kobe 8, KD 10. Stop acting like it's not conversation.
I look at Kobe's career with Shaq like Michael in the Jackson 5. When Michael was in the Jackson 5. It's a separate career.
The nigga got 5 rings and 3 of them with Shaq. That ain't no separate career. That's half his career.
Miles 7 with the super chat says, Kobe's clutch gene is overrated. People hang on to that narrative that he's super clutch because they love comparing him to Mike. Damn, y'all hating on Kobe.
No, we're being honest. You got to be honest.
Jay Short with the super chat says, Coop, you better hope Kawhi's knees don't hold up because he's going to do KD just like Tatum did in that series. KD fans thought we forgot. Pull up 18-footers and swag don't work if you're not on a 65-win team.
That's funny.
Mad Max with the super chat says, Steph was the one getting doubled. KD wasn't the clear first option. He was just the most talented when JR let KD get a wide open dunk because Steph was in the corner. You know who viewed as the greater threat.
So, Mike, I want you to remind people how Steph has really performed in the finals, and you tell me how valid you think that is.
Yeah.
Because the way Steph shooting the finals ain't the way he's shooting the regular season. Want to go check the numbers?
It's not.
So
as a fan, I watched that.
Okay, so how about this? Steph is not even in this clutch KD Kobe conversation now, is he?
No.
Then hush.
I wouldn't put him there.
Then hush with the Steph.
Mall 7 with the super chat says, Doggy Style is better than 36 Chambers. I'll even say it's top 2 album ever. I only think Illmatic is better.
It's up there. It's top 5 album for me.
Mad Max with the super chat says KD currently is getting carried by a diet Kobe in Book. he called Devin Booker, not Devin Booker. Yeah, he called Booker a diet Kobe.
I
if
don't
the
see
Suns
the Kobe
win
comparisons to Booker.
He said if the Suns win a chip, Book is getting that Finals MVP.
Book ain't even fucking
what
playing right now.
What that gonna say about KD?
Book's not even fucking playing right now. How many games has Devin Booker played this season? People acting like KD been on the Suns for like 2 years. Him and Devin Booker have played like 15 games together, Mike. Who carrying who?
Mad Max said more like Bobby with New Edition, Mike. I'm with that. Okay. Kobe's Shaq career is like Bobby in New Edition. Okay. And Shaq is Ralph Trassman.
Hold on. We about to get out of this.
Thanks, Mad Max.
Right, we about to get out of this and pause, but let's get this straight. Hold on. When you saw Devin Booker playing in the playoffs last year and he was going off, where do you think that space came from, Mike? Why didn't Devin Booker ever play like that before? Right, because he got freed up by KD coming to that team.
I remember Devin Booker getting 70-something points in a game.
You talking about one game. I'm talking about an actual whole series.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he can play.
How about this? How'd Devin Booker play in the finals without KD? Remember that? Right.
Hey, man,
and then all of a sudden,
it wasn't Kobe like.
And then hold on, but look at how he played against the champs when he had KD by his side. A guy like KD frees up things just the way Steph does. Like, people talk about KD and Steph like Steph is some supreme shooter that KD is not. You understand KD's range is just as long as Steph's. You understand free throw and 3-point and field goal percentage wise, they're almost dead even at every heap, right? Steph is a little bit better at the free throw line by like literally 2%. He's a little bit better from 3-point line by like 3%, and KD is about 6% better from the 2-point line. So it's literally comparable shooting. So when you're talking about creating this spacing, no, a 7-footer who can pull up from 35 feet creates spacing too. People don't need to act like the way some of y'all be talking, y'all don't know basketball.
How do we get back on this basketball? Okay, In the Club is a top 30 hip
and
hop song all the time.
And I'm taking Kobe over KD and LeBron for one game.
Gin and Juice over In the Club.
Damn right.
Doggy
Style over almost everything, Mike.
Yeah, Doggy Style over The Chronic, right? Is that where we're at?
Damn
right. And yeah, Kobe Bryant's Bobby Brown from New Edition. I saw somebody say Ralph Trassman was the best vocalist.
No,
in the group.
I like the Bobby Brown analysis because Bobby Brown had a nice little 2-3 year run.
Man, the Kobe slander, I can't.
Is it slander, Mike, or is it the truth? Did he not just have a little 2-3 year finals run post-Shaq? What was the rest of it?
A little 2-3 year finals run? He was dominating the league.
No, he wasn't. He was James Harden. He was shooting in volume and scoring a lot of points and not going anywhere. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Ron, you got to say something about this.
Well, guess what, Mike? All the first and second round playoff exits say I'm right. What do you have to dispute? Mike, when Shaq left and went to Miami, it wasn't until 2008 and 2009. Yeah. That took about 4 years. What was he in between them? Right, and he was
They lost a lot.
No, they lost Shaq. He was just
a lot.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Right, that's everything.
They lost a lot. It wasn't just Shaq, but they lost a lot with Shaq and
Shaq was 70% of it. But for about 4 years, he was a great player, Mike, but he was a volume shooter putting up great numbers a la James Harden in this era. And what did everybody just call James Harden? Right.
But see, James Harden wasn't a 3-time champion. James Harden, like, you can't
James
compare.
Harden wasn't a 3-time champion. How many Finals MVPs did Kobe get with those 3 rings? Since he's so clutch,
Nobody
I'm waiting
would've-
to see. I'm waiting.
Look at what his numbers were in those
All I'm
finals.
saying is y'all calling him Bobby Brown. Y'all forgetting that he was Scottie Pippen.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go to the
He
next
was Scotty,
topic.
as in second option on a championship team. Was he not the second option for the first 3 rings? Yes or no?
Hope everybody would have been second option.
You talking about
LeBron
everybody.
James would have been second option next to that Shaq.
Hey, Mike, if was a 5th, the facts of the matter is
You
that
act like he was second fiddle to some regular person. This was Shaq, man. Anybody would have been second fiddle to Shaq. Penny was. Wade was.
No,
and
Wade
Shaq was
wasn't.
washed.
No, Wade wasn't in 2006.
He still was. I mean, he was the player in his prime, but Shaq was the guy saying, I'm going to get this team a championship. Boom, boom, boom. He won the finals MVP with a lot of help from the referees and the free throw line, but at the same time, Shaq was still the guy.
So, what you're telling me is that Shaquille O'Neal took Penny Hardaway to the finals, took Kobe Bryant to the finals,
Yeah,
took Dwayne Wade to the finals.
for sure.
But y'all are trying to call Kobe clutch. It looks like Shaq is the guy.
I'm speaking to Kobe's career after him and Shaq.
And
playing
Kobe's
together.
career after Shaq, with the exception of a 3-year period, Mike, consisted of him either going home
Yo,
early.
these James Harden
not-
pictures that are popping up are wild, by the way.
Mike, am I wrong? Did he not go a 4-year stretch where he went home early every year right after Shaq? And then he went on a 3-year.
The team was rebuilding.
And then he won 2 out of 3 finals. And then after that, what happened? They barely even made it to the playoffs again.
But Coop,
That's
you
your
have
clutch?
to admit.
I love Kobe.
You have to admit that even after losing Shaq and having to rebuild your team, they lost Phil Jackson for a second too. To even come back and win 2 more championships, that's impressive. And even with all those things being said, he still has more championships than Shaq does.
Fair.
So,
But this is what I say: not all rings are created equal. So hold on. How is it? And then we can really move on. How is it that KD is capping off of Steph's rings, but Kobe's not capping off of Shaq's rings? So when you're talking
because
about
KD doesn't have any after Steph.
right. So hold
Yeah.
on. So if he gets one after Steph, we gonna talk about him like we talk about Kobe, right?
He's gonna need 2 or 3. Yeah.
How?
Because Kobe has 2 after Shaq.
So you don't find them to be comparable players right now?
I think that to be comparable with somebody like, KD or Kobe, I think they're all-time great players. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you that in clutch moments and in game-ending moments, if I'm rooting for the other team, I would fear Kobe on the other end of the court more than I would KD.
So let me ask you something. What do you think of Kareem?
I think Kareem is one of the greatest players of all time. I
Okay.
think he's a top
So Kareem won
5.
Kareem won 1 ring before Magic came along in almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then he literally, for the majority of their title runs, with the exception of the first title, for the 4 of the 5 rings, he was the second best player on that team.
Yeah. That speaks to a lot to Magic.
Right.
Yeah.
And Magic, in a lot of people's circles, is considered to be a greater player than Kareem because of that.
Mm-hmm. Magic did some things that were game-changing we've never seen. And Magic also, as great as Kareem was, right? And Kareem had the sky hook, and I think that he, from what I know, he had some intangibles that others before him didn't have either. But we never seen anything like Magic, just like we had never seen anything like Shaq. If you ask me who is probably easier to come by, even though neither one of them are really easy to come by, I think that you're probably going to get another Kareem-style player before you get another Magic-style player, especially at that time.
All I'm saying is that the role that Kobe occupied with the Lakers when Shaq was there, the role that Kareem occupied when Magic was there in the Lakers, KD did not occupy that role with Golden State.
Okay.
KD was the man in Golden State.
That's true.
Not Steph.
That's true.
Now tell me that I'm wrong.
Now, that's true.
Okay, so stop this.
But Steph's not Shaq. And Steph's not Kobe. Steph's not Magic. Steph's not Kareem.
So with that being said, doesn't that make the degree of difficulty of KD winning those titles with Steph a little bit tougher, seeing how KD is
Well,
more
it's not just Steph, Coop, because we're talking about a team that was 73-9 without KD. So it was just a really good team. It's almost like
they couldn't finish the deal without KD. When LeBron had a healthy team, they weren't that great of a playoff team. Now, were they? Great regular season team.
It's true.
But when they went to the playoffs and had to play a healthy LeBron team, Right.
And shit, even had to play the Thunder. They went 7 games. You 73-9. You lost 9 games all season, but you lost 3 games. You lost 4 games in 2 series. So no, not 4 games. You lost 7 games in 2 series.
The last 2
and you
series,
lost,
Mike.
Yeah, the last 2 series.
Right, when it was
you
on the
lost
line.
9 games all season.
When it was on the line.
Problem with
when it was on the line, you mean? So this Steph being the man and KD needing Steph to do it, it's like, no, that prime KD is very much like a prime Shaq, a prime Magic, a prime Kobe, a prime LeBron, a prime Michael Jordan. It's like, no, he going to the finals one way or the other with a couple of good all-star players next to him.
Yeah, because that's 72.
He took Russell Westbrook to the NBA Finals when James Harden was sitting on the bench and Russell Westbrook couldn't shoot a fucking lick.
These pictures are crazy. I love it, though. Shout out to 007. Says, according to the NBA, what y'all think about Banks LP? Right. We're going to get to the music.
It's solid.
Mad Max of the Super Chat says, Shaq nor KD beat an all-time great team in the finals. Kobe did wash Rick Smith's older Dikembe and the Nets because, please, Kobe guarding AI, Kid, and Reggie. Let's get on to some music. Rest in peace to Takeoff. It's been a year since Takeoff's passing, or Takeoff was murdered, and
it's a murder.
It's a murder. And it's just, I remember when it happened. I felt like I don't think that the
Steph
city
is overrated and Kobe's clutch gene
Come
is
on,
overrated.
let's respect Takeoff. Let's respect Takeoff. I mean, I remember when it happened, man. I was thinking, man, the city of Atlanta hadn't had a loss in that way. I don't think ever, at least not to that magnitude, right?
Left eye.
Yeah, but murder's always different in hip hop. It's like, because even with Eazy-E, it's different than what Tupac and Biggie, their demise was. So
we sensationalize the murder more.
We do. It's, I don't know why, right? I don't know if it's the music, it's the culture, or what, but I and then with that and the Young Thug stuff going on at the same time, the city of Atlanta, it was really, still is tumultuous times for the city of Atlanta musically. And I think that the Migos, even though their whole run, I feel like the whole industry kind of complained about, what they were doing, what they were making, that they were whack, this, that, and the third. But you need people like the Migos around. They had bangers. They were consistently giving you bangers year in, year out. We don't really have that anymore, it feels like. And I think that there's a void with the Migos not active. But maybe I'm saying that from a fan perspective because I did rock with their stuff. The consistency that they had, even though at the end, the consistency wasn't there as it once was. But with those 3 guys there, you knew that at some point, maybe it could come back together. I do feel like Hotel Lobby with Takeoff and Quavo was kind of a glimpse into the fact that they could get something back together. And I also love the DJ Khaled record where they sample Eddie Murphy Party All the Time. That's a great record.
Love some Party All the Time.
Mm-hmm. No, but the sample that they did it justice.
I literally just posted something on Instagram. The wedding I went to in Phoenix. That was the bride's come out song was Party All the Time. I told you.
Rick.
Turn up.
Rest in peace to Rick. Too.
Slick Rick. The other Slick Rick.
Yeah. But yes, Andrew Williams with the Super Chat says, Wade definitely took Shaq to the finals. I don't know what y'all talking about. Go back and watch the season. Talking about. I said that. Shaq was doo-doo in the 06 finals too. All right, Anthony Davis with the $20 Super Chat, showing love. He says, just a love offering. Love what y'all doing. Appreciate that, Anthony. That's love. Jay Short with the Super Chat says, Coop, Booker averaged 28 a game in the finals. He lost because your boy Giannis hit 15 for 15 free throws in a 50-point closeout game. I remember that.
Okay. So
KD was sitting on the sidelines after Giannis eliminated him. So R.I.P. to Bobby Knight as well, yeah.
So here's what you have to understand about somebody like Devin Booker and like Steph. The only person that I've seen under 6'5" dominate a conference finals or final series is Isaiah Thomas. It's just too hard to do when you got Giannis's running around and Jokic running around and KD running around and LeBron running around and Kobe and Shaq and Tim Duncan. Mike, you can't teach height.
No, you can't. let's move on to the next thing.
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Rest in peace, Takeoff. Bobby Knight, rest in peace as well. What I was going to say, man, we're still debating if we're going to do this Benny the Butcher station head on, I guess, Friday morning, Thursday night, whatever, at midnight. But we're still doing this Tupac and Biggie station head, right?
That's happening.
That's happening. I'm taking on Biggie. Are there any rules that need to be set?
Yes.
Because Biggie's feature game is way more vast than Pac's feature game.
It is. And you're going to need all of those.
Probably
will.
I'm
going to tell you what. Andrew and I did our first show together in a while for Mirror Music today. And
okay,
the song that I covered was actually Tupac's My Block off the show soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
He just too deep for Big, and that would be the problem. You were literally going to have to win with all the hits, but I don't think you have enough hits to win. Pac got the hits and
Pac
the content.
Got hits too.
And the content.
I'm going to have to dig deep, man.
It's like, how about this? I don't know if he has...
I need help from my New Yorkers.
I don't know. How about this? This comes down to this. Are you the type of rap listener that prefers One More Chance? Or are you the type of rap listener that prefers Dear Mama?
Right.
Because that's pretty much where this battle therein lies. It's like, that's what you're going to those guys for. So it's a preference thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is no, Pac got two of America's Most Wanted. And how do you want it? And
well, you know,
I get around.
It's interesting. You and I did the Michael Jackson and Prince station head, and you know that's a preference thing too, but it's an approach thing too. Like you don't want your approach, and you were right. You didn't want to come with the bangers with Prince because you're going against Mike. And for me, as a person that had Michael, I didn't really want to go too much into the ballads.
Right.
And so with Biggie and Pac, I'm going to have to play, even though Pac doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, I can't play into the introspective Big. I'm not going to win that.
Right. You play some Sky's the Limit, it's over.
Yeah, if I play like Things Done Changed even. Not Things Done Changed. Everyday Struggle.
And Things Done Changed.
Yeah.
Washington.
I mean, like, even though I think Everyday Struggle is one of Biggie's strongest songs in that vein.
It's my favorite.
If it goes up against a Pac song in that vein, it's going to be very tough.
It's my favorite song on Ready to Die, but here's the reality of the matter. Do you know how many Tupac songs I can fade you with on that?
No, that's real. Pain.
Pour out a
that's
little
the
liquor.
first one I thought about.
Pain. Pour out a little liquor.
You think Pour Out a Little Liquor is better than Everyday Struggle?
Comparable. I think Biggie's rhyme-wise is better than Pac is on there, but Pour Out a Little Liquor means something to people.
It does. No.
What if I
soundtrack songs mean a lot.
What if I play Brenda's Got a Baby when you play Everyday Struggle? You're gonna lose.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, where can we send help with the tracks at Mike? Send it to info@accordingtohiphop.com.
Who y'all helping? Don't be helping Mike D. Some bullshit.
Nah, I think I got enough in the arsenal, man. I mean, it's Pac, man. So, okay. Those are no rules, right? So we just, same rules as everything else. Because even if I play Notorious Thugs, you're probably not going to play the Bone record. But
no, I'm probably not. Because there's just so many ways I can beat you without having to do
you can
that.
beat Notorious Thugs like that?
With Tupac? Fuck yeah.
Depends on where I play it.
Right. Okay.
So play Notorious Thugs and you play No More Pain. Does that beat Notorious Thugs?
No, I was actually going to play Two of America's Most Wanted with Snoop. And yes, I do beat you with that.
You think Two of America's Most Wanted is better than Notorious Thugs?
Always thought that.
I never thought about that.
The beat's better. The rhymes are better.
Picture perfect.
I paint a perfect picture.
I don't know, man.
With precision, my intention to get with the S.
What do y'all think out there? I don't know.
My fucking homie. You's a cold ass nigga on a mall.
Sure enough. And yes, Snoop Doggy Dogg was the biggest rapper at the time.
Until All Eyes on Me came out.
Yeah, I gotta give that credit, man. I remember MTV shut shit down for All Eyes on Me. You know, MTV and Interscope.
The black community shut shit down for All Eyes on Me.
Of course.
Pac coming out of jail was
of course.
big
we
thing.
always did that. We did that for not America's Most, but Me Against the World. You know what I'm saying? We shut things down for Me Against the World.
Triple, quadruple platinum album?
Yeah. But All Eyes on Me, MTV was on deck. And when you think about it, the attention that they gave Doggy Style, MTV again, they started to give that attention to Tupac.
So how about this?
Interscope, man.
Outside of One More Chance remix, What does Biggie have for California Love even?
What does Biggie have for
California Love's
Love?
better than Big Papa. You know that, right?
It's bigger.
It's better.
California Love's a beast. I'm trying to think.
It's a problem out here in these streets.
I wouldn't play Juicy up against that. And, you know, Juicy's going to be a problem with Pac anyway because it's something in that introspective
I'm just
vein.
going to play Keep Your Head Up and you lose.
Keep Your Head Up is better than Juicy.
Yes, I know.
Damn it, I got a problem here.
You got a problem.
Yeah, I'm going to have to really dig.
I'm going to tell you where
I'm going to have to use shit like Victory.
I was actually thinking shit like Kicking the Door, Unbelievable, like his rap shit. You got to use his rap shit.
Pac shit is too big for that shit, though.
You're going to have to do what Biggie does best, and that's be witty and charismatic.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, Coop, I'm going to send you some, too, for fairness. LOL. There we go. CJ Kid showing love all around. Hearts of Men, great record.
Hearts of Men, Mike.
Man, that man's catalog's insane.
I ain't mad at you, Mike. Picture me rolling.
You know, I ain't mad at you. Biggie's I Ain't Mad at You is Missing You off of Life After Death. And that doesn't. Yeah.
Nasty work I'm going to give you.
I'm going to have to hit you with shit like, you're nobody to somebody kills you.
That's what I mean. You got to get on his.
Life Goes On.
Life Goes On is a great record.
Play that. Nobody kills you. Life Goes On.
I was thinking God Bless the Dead.
Nobody.
Against all odds. Hail Mary. You're in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. It's Tupac Shakur.
It's crazy, man. Because
everybody's in trouble.
All right, I'm going to say this. And I had a conversation with somebody.
He's the real versus champ.
I was going to say, man, I've had this conversation with somebody offline. Like, I know growing up, especially when these guys, met their untimely demises, it was always, best rappers of all time, Tupac Big. Did we overstate how close Biggie is to Pac? Because from what we're saying right here, I don't know how close it really is. I'm the underdog here, and it shouldn't be like that. The way we've kind of made them synonymous with each other.
That's about the death.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and unpack this, and let's go ahead and leave this where it is.
Mm-hmm.
For as great as Big is, when you're talking about Big, you're talking about the caliber MC he is.
Right.
Versus is about songs and song-making ability. And in that regard, he's not Tupac.
Yeah.
Because Tupac didn't have no Puff to make those records. You feel me? You're talking about the lyricist Big. You're talking about the MC Big. You're talking about the voice and the delivery. Hate to be the one to break it to you. Guess who has a comparable voice? Pac. Guess who the better song maker and songwriter is?
It's Pac.
So you're talking about the lyricist Big. Y'all talking about getting into an MC battle. In a rap battle, Biggie beats Tupac. In a song battle, everybody in trouble.
Pac's a poet too. So
and you know it. That's what my block was. That's what I was saying. They got a nigga shedding tears, reminiscing on my past fears, cause shit was hectic for me last year. It seems, but I've been marked for death. The underlying cause of my arrest, my life is stress. No worries, my heart stay forever weary. For the guys that we buried in the cemetery, shit scary. Our black on black crime legendary, but at times unnecessary. I'm getting worried. Biggie's not fucking with that because guess what? No other rapper is.
I'm looking forward to
Good
this.
night.
I'm looking forward to this. I never thought I'd be the underdog with Biggie's catalog.
That's from my block off the show soundtrack. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like, no, everybody's in trouble.
I wish Jay-Z was here to debate this with us because, I feel...
the importance?
No, I feel that Jay would feel that Biggie's catalog trumps Pac's.
That's that Brooklyn shit.
Yeah, must be. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, I love One More Chance remix, but you can't live without Dear Mama. It's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. CJ Kid with the super chat says, hope you guys are in good physically and mentally. Appreciate that, CJ Kid. CJ Kid always looking out, man.
I like that. Yes, mental health awareness is very important. Mike, ambitions as a writer.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight right. Yeah, I got to really
Only God can judge me? Temptations?
I got to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. Yeah.
Death around the corner? There's so many places I can go.
I don't even think I'm going to play stuff like More Money, More Problems. I don't think I can.
Mike, I don't need to play How Do You Want It to Beat You. Like, I don't need to play
his big hit record. That's a great record.
I don't need to play it to beat you.
How Do You Want It's great.
It is.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, nah, that wasn't fair, Coop, with that help. Mike D, play Running from the Police, OG with Biggie. Stretch, Pac, and Outlaws. F that.
I feel like you're going to have to play like the Tracy Lee shit. You Can't Stop the Rain. You got to go with his super, like, you got to get Biggie's Fly shit where he just like went berserk. Victory. Yeah.
Joe Young with the super chat says, stop, Mike. You picking Big. He just don't have enough material.
No, he lost.
I lost,
You lost
the Kanye and Jay thing, and I ended up having to get Big because I lost that. He said, you just don't have enough material. Do it for the love. It's a blowout. Pac was ahead of his time. He was writing a lot of songs.
Like, what do you have for so many tears? Because that's better than Suicidal Thoughts.
You know, it's funny that people even feel this way. So y'all feel like Pac is a good margin ahead of Biggie.
Song making wise. MC wise, Big is a superior MC. As in, he's a better lyricist. Fundamentally.
Maybe.
Fundamentally speaking.
Maybe. As a writer, though, I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how about this? This is the thing with Pac. Pac says shit like the shit that I just said. Shit is scary. Our black on black crime legendary, but at times unnecessary. I'm getting worried. Big says shit like, used to call me Fatso. Now you call me Castro.
Yeah.
Right. That's different.
I think, though, that Pac's style was intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like, to break it down and just be simple and straightforward,
Right.
that was intentional.
So the hardest thing to do is to take the complex and simplify it.
Mm-hmm.
He took our complex and tenuous inner city black and in some cases Latino circumstances, and he made it digestible for all of us. That's what I'm saying. That's what these records are. They're digestible records about our struggle as blacks in this nation.
Jay
it's
Wilder, the
digestible.
super chat says, who wins, Nas versus Biggie?
It's not fair because Nas's catalog is just...
Nas has a lot of stuff.
He's got a lot of stuff to throw at Big. Like,
But Big, if we're talking about 20 songs, now if we're talking about 30,
that's where
it'd be
Big,
different.
that. How about this? In a battle like that, that's where you play Big's hits is against Nas.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna beat you probably.
Are you willing to take that one instead? Are you
No.
willing to take that
The
one?
whole point of me taking Jay and waxing Kanye was to get Tupac and
Okay.
taking Tupac.
Okay, all right. CJ Kid with the super chat says, which song is better, Keep Your Head Up or Juicy?
Keep Your Head Up.
Your Head Up, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It says, I get a similar feel from them both, beat-wise and hook-wise. Both feel so soulful and both are iconic. And honestly, man, Juicy might have been a play on Keep Your Head Up because clearly they were, looking at what Pac was doing.
Okay, part of Pac's problem was it's like, hey, this guy took my whole formula and ran with it.
Mad Max with the super chat says, one more chance is way better than Dear Mama. Be for real.
Who said that?
Mad Max.
Oh, he
from
don't
New
know
York.
shit. There we go.
He
Okay.
from New York.
Yeah, he don't know better. He don't know better. He can't help himself.
But I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of where I'm going to play a record like.
The more time goes by, Mike, the more I think Dear Mama might even supplant Fight the Power as the greatest rap song ever.
It could be.
It's arguably the greatest rap song ever made in a vacuum.
Well,
One More Chance is in that conversation too. But when you make a song that is brilliant and genius with a message, Mike, it's going to trump the party song every time.
It's true.
Because we got soul, Mike, and we got struggle, and we got strife and sacrifice here. And so when you speak to those parts of our soul, it moves us different.
Dot says,
like one more chance remix ain't making no nigga shed tears, Mike.
No, that's real.
It's not. It's
Dot
great
with the
party
super
starter.
chat says, Ready to Die couldn't even be, it was written. Leroy Green with the super chat says, technically Biggie is better musically with 100 less songs. Big got the same level of attention to detail song-wise, but once Pac was killed, he became a Christ figure, being presumably the voice of all. Damn, Leroy.
It's pretty deep.
That is, man.
That's one of Leroy's better comments, actually.
He said that Biggie did more because he had less songs. Pac had like 100. He had 100 less songs. I think the same level of attention just came on the fact that they were pitted against each other, right? Don't get it fucked up. Pac was much bigger than Big when they were both here. It's just what it is.
Okay, one guy was barely going platinum, one guy was going multi-platinum every time.
So, I mean, this whole thing about Big got the same level of attention, unless he's saying,
You wild.
he said same level for attention to detail. I don't even know if that's true. But
As a storyteller, yes.
yeah.
When you're talking about the details with Big, that's the storytelling ability where that detail,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, no. You're going to have to throw me for some loops to beat Pac. Like, you're going to have to play like Niggas Bleed.
I don't think that's good enough to beat Pac. Pac's best stuff? I don't think so.
Niggas Bleed's pretty tough.
It is tough, but it's not even like Big's like best stuff. And going up against Pac, like me and my girlfriend could beat Niggas Bleed.
I don't know about that, Mike.
You don't think so?
I think
Okay.
that might be stretched. How about this?
Pain could. Shit.
Yeah, Niggas Bleed isn't beating like a Hail Mary or a Pain, but I think it is beating a Me and My Girlfriend. Respectfully.
Patricio with the super chat says, Mike, you got to play More Money, More Problems. That's one of the West Side. That's one of my West Side Chicago anthems. Came out at the age of 6. You will win that round, no doubt.
No,
They're trying to send me down the wrong road.
Mike.
I appreciate the super chat, but yeah, he's trying to send me down the wrong road.
Mike, All About You's better than More Money, More Problems. What is he talking about? Every other city.
I don't agree with that.
Every other
That I don't
video.
agree with. I don't agree with that.
People sing the hook to All About You way more than they sing the hook to More Money, More
How
Problems.
do you want it's better than More Money, More Problems, though?
Both of those records are better than More Money, More Problems. More Money, More Problems wasn't like that outside of Big's verse. It's Big's verse that makes that song. Like, Puff and Mace are just potato salad and macaroni and cheese. They side
Mace
dishes.
killed that shit.
It's not like that. No, Big killed that shit.
He did.
Nigga Mace was just solid.
And one of the reasons I won't play that record is because Big went last.
Like,
and you're not going to hear him immediately.
How about this? For however great Mace was in that prime and that run, you hear who he's not when Big steps into the mic.
Yeah, that's fair. And I love Mace. Shout out to Mace and shout out to Cam for dressing up as O.J. Simpson for Halloween. That was wild.
He dressed up like O.J.?
Well, he had the uniform on with the helmet and stuff.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Not O.J. So it's like, it wasn't a bloody glove kit or nothing?
No.
Okay.
O.J. didn't do that. On to the anniversary.
You gotta stop that.
He did, man. On to the anniversary part of our show.
We all know
there was a couple of songs. I mean, not a couple of songs. A couple of albums that celebrated anniversaries. Important albums. Yesterday, which was Halloween, a lot of shit came out on Halloween. We're about to talk about this Lloyd Banks. But The Dynasty came out on Halloween. But Outkast's Stankonia turned 23 years old yesterday. And I figured we would highlight Stankonia. What do you think about that?
No, I'm cool with that. We need to show Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick a little while.
And yes, Great Adventures of Slick Rick turns 35 today, so we're going to speak on that too.
Right.
But I want to say this about Stankonia. It's a very interesting project because Outkast is heralded for their consistency and always changing from album to album. But for many, this was their introduction to Outkast. But for others...
You mean white people?
Or people of a certain generation.
White people.
MTV really got on Stankonia more than they did any of the other Outkast albums, I would say. But for most Outkast fans, core Outkast fans, many people feel that Stankonia is their fourth best album. I would say that that's probably a consensus. I remember it was my freshman year at Alabama State, right? Mm-hmm. And it was my first time really being away from Atlanta. And so every time I would hear anybody from Atlanta while I was out of state, I was proud.
Of course.
And so we're coming off of Akumanai, and I'm not shitting you guys. I probably listen to Akumanai damn near every day between Akumanai and Stankonia's release. So I had no expectations for Stankonia on that level. I was like, I know we're not getting Akumanai. It's cool. You know what I mean? As much as I like Bonds Over Bad Dad, I felt like, I'm not expecting an album anywhere near this one. But after I heard Stankonia, I went to the store, bought it on Halloween. The first time, I was kind of disappointed, even though I had no expectations. And you know why? This is the first time Andre was not rapping 100% of the time. Now, he took breaks on certain songs on ATLians and, Akumanai. Mm-hmm. But it was never a point where it was like, he just was like non-existent on many of the songs. And some of the songs, he just didn't rap at all. He was singing. And I remember hearing like Gasoline Dreams. I know you talk about that a lot. And he's like, all of my heroes did dope. And I'm like, is Dre okay? Because this was really the first time they fully experimented to the point where we're not spitting or Dre, well, I'm not rapping all the time, right? Because even when what he did on Synthesizer, he gave you that verse on Synthesizer. I was
thinking about that. Too. He did give you that verse.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And this was the first time me as a rap fan, I'm like, damn, what a bars at? I mean, you got them here and there, but so off first listen, I didn't love Stankonia like that. But over time, I think Stankonia's greatness probably grew on me. It's still the 4th best album they made, but I like it a lot better now than I did when I first heard it. And I had no expectations for it when I initially heard it.
I mean, just for me personally.
And it was the first time I ever skipped songs on the Outkast album, too. I'm going to put that in there, too.
I think all of us ATLians feel that way.
Yeah.
Mike, I told you, if you play the first 3 albums in order, like from songs, starting with the Peaches intro on Southern Playalistic into the first song, my intro to let you know.
Right.
And you ride straight through all the way to the end of Aquemini with Chunky Fire. And then you get to Stankonia, which starts off with Gasoline Dreams. It's a severe drop-off. I don't care what anybody says. And we need to be honest about the drop-off. And so when I heard Gasoline Dreams, I was like, oh no. It was like one of those things that made me kind of sad because it's like, oh no.
When the record player gets to skipping and slowing down?
I knew it when Gasoline Dreams came on because I was like, oh shit. And then Miss Jackson came out and I was like, oh, he's singing on that record too. And then So Fresh, So Clean came out and I was like, oh, he's singing on, you know what I'm saying?
He was singing on So Fresh, So Clean.
And Miss Jackson. And on Gasoline Dreams. And it's just like, I mean.
Well, the precursor for that.
All that singing shit.
Was the Slim Cutter Calhoun song, right?
It's okay.
Yeah, and I didn't love that either. And that's the record where Kendrick kind of got his whole style from.
I love that hook, though.
I love the hook. But I loved Andre rhyming so much that when he wasn't rhyming, I'm like, no, it's not what I came here for. And I feel the same way about Kendrick. He did that on the song with Jeezy and Cole. It's like, no, I don't want to see you singing. Like, no.
Kind of happy ass shit is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was my thought process with Stankonia. And
yeah.
As you said, yours as well.
Yeah. It started on Gasoline Dreams. I was like, so this is where the drop off happens.
And you know what? It's funny you say it like that because at that point, Outkast was kind of invincible to me. I didn't think they had a drop off in them.
They were invincible until Gasoline
Dreams.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like they had a drop off in them. And that's why, even when we talk about people who have short, great careers, a la Biggie, stuff like that, the greatness is in the longevity because you do want to see
if you can hold up.
Where are these down periods going to come? Because for most artists, even our favorite artists, they happen.
Yes.
Michael Jackson had down periods.
Prince.
Yeah. It happens to all the greats.
Like Mike, neither one of us really played any Prince or Michael Jackson records from like 1988 to 1992. It's like we didn't really play those records because them records weren't good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple here and there, but that was
what their level was.
When you played Cream and I played In the Closet, the fans tuned out for a second.
They did. They were like, what are you niggas doing?
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, okay.
We're just trying to be diverse here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. We trying to show the whole catalog.
Right.
Right.
Like, no, don't overtake
like, don't do that. Yeah. They're like, don't do that.
Critical Mass to the Super Chat says, no, Leroy hates Pac because Pac hated Jay. I see the correlation here. CJ Kidd says, might need to use Players Anthem and Get Money. I'm definitely going to need those.
I'm saying you need those. How you living, Biggie Smalls? Yeah. I'm surrounded by criminals, heavy rollers, even the shiesty individuals, smoking blunts and mad fillies, beating down Billy badasses, cracks and stacks and masses. Right.
Jay Short with the Super Chat says, Coop, how is Biggie the better MC when Me Against the World is the best lyrical album between both? We got to stop defaulting to the New York MC is automatically better.
No, when I'm saying he's the better MC, I'm saying in the full encompassing of all the things that MC does. And here's where, if I tell you, when we have these Nas conversations, it's like, well, the tipping point be the storytelling about the MCing.
Yeah.
Guess what? Same thing applies to Big. And so it's like, no, the tipping point, the storytelling and the punchlines, because Pac didn't have that heavy in his arsenal. He had all the other things.
Fuck a state pen, fuck hoes in Penn State.
Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns.
That's a crust so-called Willie Stubbs.
That might be like, that is literally one of the best start-offs to a rap song I've ever heard.
Get in that ass quick fast like Ramadan.
Get in that ass quick fast like Ramadan.
Yeah. Pretty great.
It's like, yeah, I love Pac, but that's that MC shit that I'm talking about. Or when he's like doing the third verse on Niggas Bleed, through all the excitement. Hold on, what'd he say? Through all the flames and all through excitements, them niggas double parked by a hydrant. Stupid motherfuckers. It's like,
Man.
that's what I'm talking about.
Mad Max of the Super Chat says, OJ didn't do that. I agree with Mike. Only dummies believe that now that he's hired someone, maybe, but not telling me that he ran in the crib and did that. CJ Kid with the Super Chat says, this month is the 14th. Both Beg for Mercy and Black Album dropped on the same day. My generation's version of November 9th, 1993. Dope. Joe Young with the $20 Super Chat showing love. He says, only Hov and Nas can touch Pac. Even them to have a problem with him. He speaks from the heart, very special. Jay said when he was talking about the streets is watching, he said Pac was passing songs to Big, and then Big passed it to him, Nas.
What? Huh?
He said, hold on, let me read that again. Said Jay said when he was talking about streets is watching, he said Pac was passing songs to Big, then Big passed it to him, Nas. You got to clarify that one.
Say less.
All right. Let's talk about this Lloyd Banks album.
Okay.
Halloween Havoc Part 4.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts?
It's just good.
Just good?
It was solid. It had some joints on there. I was like, oh, okay. I like the fact that he took on the bar work by himself.
I do too.
I'm going to give you the weight of the expectations. When you're walking around saying nobody can't out-rap you, which he just said, you're going to have to go out and prove it, and he didn't prove it with this joint.
You don't think that he was rapping at a high level on this album, though?
I think Cody 1 and 2 are better than this.
I listened to it straight through. I think
Me too.
it's the mood that it takes on where it never really changes. Joe Young said, Big would have passed the songs to Hov and Nas. A2HH Love. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
First of all, Pac passed the hit-making side of things to Big.
To everybody.
Big never got the content part, so let's stop making it seem like he did.
Right.
Yeah. Like the way it really goes is that Pac and Nas are more comparable, and Jay and Big are more comparable. And
right.
So when you, right.
Well, speaking of the hit making, and I think it's very interesting that we spoke about In the Club going diamond, this, that, and the third.
Cool.
50 is, in my opinion, especially for a New York rapper, probably one of the best hit writing rappers New York has ever seen. And Lloyd Banks was around for that whole ride. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Lloyd Banks chooses to basically make hits, obviously it's a conscious decision. You don't feel like he has it in his arsenal.
He never really did. It was never really part of his arsenal.
I think it's his voice.
It has something to do with it, but he was never a hit-making type of artist. People forget that when Lloyd Banks was at his peak, it was on some mixtape punchline shit. It was never on some hit-making ability type stuff. So it's like, I don't have expectations for him to make those type of records.
I think this era fits him well.
It does.
And I think that's why we're getting so much of an output from him in this era.
So I say this respectfully because I do like Lloyd, and I like the work that he's been putting in and the work that he's been doing. I really do. I respect it. Not too many people laid off like he did and came back and have come back strong, consistently putting out material.
Right.
But let's just keep it funky and let's keep it in his borough, okay? The style of music that he's making, from Southside Jamaica, Queens. Style of music that he's making, well, that's more of that Mobb Deep street shit, right?
Yeah.
It's not Mobb Deep level, though, now, is it?
No.
Okay, so that would be the problem when I'm saying it's just good. It's like, oh, no, I know who you are. I know what borough you're from. And this is what I'm saying. Like, hold on, let's scale it back. Let's not even go Mobb Deep. That might be unrealistic expectations. When you're talking about 50 the hit maker, forget 50 the hit maker. What about 50 the street song maker? Yeah. Hustler's Ambition.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? That's what I want to hear from him.
I got you.
And he's not doing that. Where's his What Up Gangsta? What Up Gangsta became a club song because the beat hit so hard. That's some street shit, Mike.
You remember Elephant in the Sand where Hollow through him? Man, where he's taking the Crust Groove shit. Excuse me, where he's like, nigga come around me. Moving, I put a hollow through him.
Yeah.
Now, Lloyd's on there. You could take your white flag and stick it. I'm different. And yeah, I got you. Like songs like that, they got that kind of energy. Those are street records.
Yeah.
That could be done. Yeah.
So I'm not asking him to make the 50 hits. I'm not expecting no PIMP in the club.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You're expecting like, like the beg for mercy shit.
The beg for mercy shit. And not I'm teaching you how to stunt. Popping them things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Popping them things was like, that was a single on some street shit though, Mike.
Do you think it's a production thing?
Some of it. But some of it is the production choice he's making. But how about this? For as many great hooks as 50 gave himself, he gave equal weight to his crew.
He did.
Every hood we go
50's
through,
amazing, man.
all the gangsters around know my whole crew.
Nigga, what?
We don't get down like we supposed to, nigga. You can front if you want. We'll be popping them things. There ain't nothing fucking happy or single or hit about that. And so I expect him to be making Hustler's Ambition and popping them things if this is the route he's gonna take.
That's the level.
That's the level. It's been set, and he just did not hit that mark with this album. I feel like on Cody 1 and 2, he's closer to that level.
Black Wealth and Power with the super chat says, why is Jay the only MC that heads aren't okay with being a stand for? It's okay to have your guy if it's anyone else, but if it's Jay, it's a problem. I wanna clear this up too, because I see this in the chat. Not in the chat, but I see this in the comment section all the time. There's like, we hate Jay or we hate on Jay. Like, we love Jay. I think also to piggyback off of that narrative that Black Power was talking, Jay's also the kind of guy where if you criticize anything that he's done or critique it like we critique everybody else, then you're all of a sudden a hater as well.
We treat him
like we treat everybody else.
Hello.
That's it.
How many times have I come in here and been like, yo, stop coming on here and tell me the Untitled's good.
Yeah.
The shit ain't no good.
No.
Stop telling me you like Nostradamus. It's not good.
Yeah.
Do that shit all the time. Mike, what I just talk about?
We talk about Ye. We'll talk about Common. We
can talk about
Stankonia
and Outkast.
Yeah.
We from Atlanta. You and I, the reason we started rapping is called Outkast. Mm-hmm. And we still just criticize Stankonia just now.
Well, when we critique Andre, who has been my favorite rapper since I was a child, then we're hating on that too. Mad Max with the super chat says, Pac's my GOAT, but now y'all disrespecting Biggie. Me Against the World better lyrically than any Biggie album? Come on. You mix content with lyricism. It's not the same. We need to have that conversation again too, because we've had that podcast where we talk about lyricism and what lyricism is. And Pac's always the catalyst for that.
How about this? It's actually not me against the world. It's all eyes on me. Because Pac is still the poet and the social activist on All Eyes on Me, but he's also super gangster and making really, really big hits. Mm-hmm. And so that's
He leveled it up, man.
He leveled up. And so when you're talking about the mic performance, it's like, I keep telling Mike, book one, All Eyes on Me.
No, facts.
Facts.
Mad Max to the super chat says, when making a great song, beats matter. Most than, I guess he means more than your voice, and then your flow, then your lyrics, and then the content. You be overrating content. It's 5th on the chart. And Mad Max just created that chart right here and right now. CJ Kid with the super chat says, his version of What Up Gangsta was Warrior. No, Warrior was hard.
Warrior's tough.
If that's the level, that's the level.
Okay.
Warrior's hard.
Name one song on this album that's as good as Warrior. Right.
I stay fly. That shit hard.
And this is what I mean too, is that, not to be funny, his punchline game is still intact, but let's go back to popping and things. What'd he say? She had my balls head first like a soccer star. You can only stand next to the man if you proper. To take care of birds like an animal doctor. I been had him buzzing. Niggas just slept on me, so I'm out for revenge like one of Bin Laden's cousins. Chill. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear Lloyd bang. That's the level. And so when people are walking around, I mean, not being funny, some of that be that bias. It's like people walking around, oh, this album's great. It's like, no, not outside of New York. It's not.
Well, I think the thing is, too, I don't want to say we're not getting a lot of bars, but we're not getting bars from people who are as prominent as him, right?
Right.
And so when we get bars from somebody that prominent and in New York as well, people are going to hold that high. And what Lloyd has done, he has satisfied the people who fuck with him.
Yes.
And he's very Redman-like in that sense.
Yes.
He understands the people that fuck with him, and he doubles down on that market and gives them what they want. And shout out to Redman too, doing all these freestyles out here. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
We're just playing that cipher from the 2015 BET Awards. Red Menace.
So what are we rating this album?
3.5.
3.5 right now?
What do you think?
I think that's fair. I'm gonna give it some more listens, some more burn. But I mean the dynamics, it's one of those straight lines. It's not where it's like I'm gonna skip this song. If you ready to hear that, then you're gonna let that one ride straight through.
So this is what I mean. So for those type of songs, that's what I mean. Okay, you remember Hell on Earth by Mobb Deep?
Mm-hmm.
No, same feel.
Yeah.
But the execution of the songs, Mike, Bloodsport, Drop a Gem on Them, Nighttime Vultures, G.O.D. Part 3, Hell on Earth, Give It Up Fast, Still Shining, Apostles Warning. It's like, no, it's all in that same vein. Those records are fucking great. These records are not great. They're just good, and it's okay. Yeah. It's just been a solid. How about this? This album to me is reflective of the year that hip-hop has had. It's a good album. It's not a great album. It's a solid project from a very seasoned vet who's a top-notch lyricist.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, my last super chat for the night, but I still keep wishing for you guys and Dead End Hip Hop one day to collabo. Don't worry, I tell them the same thing. Well, we got to reach out to them and we'll tell them CJ Kid sent us. We appreciate your last super chat. I guess CJ Kid ran out of money on us tonight.
I had to run to work or something too.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Stay tuned, and yeah, we're gonna we should reach out to Dead End Hip Hop. Shout out to them; they do great work. Top 5 segment. Do you have a top 5 for today?
I was thinking, based on the Lloyd Bank thing, I was thinking like top 5 G Unit songs, like from the collective, like from the run, like with all of them on it, or from pieces of the album with features. I was thinking like, what are your favorite 5 G Unit songs from that era? Because I was thinking about, and I didn't have them in any particular order. First thing I thought about was Bonafide Hustler off Buck's album.
It's a hard record.
Thought about Popping Them Things.
Popping Them Things is great.
What else do we got? I think Hate It or Love It.
Do you count Out of Control with Mobb Deep? That doesn't feel like a G Unit song per se. That beat is insane.
That beat is crazy.
That beat is
It's
insane.
Mobb Deep. I'm going to give it to him because it's Mobb's last record.
That shit is good. Yo, Dr. Dre, that's the if somebody asked me what's the last Dr. Dre beat where you was like, yo.
Oh my God.
I think that's that one.
It's Mobb Deep rapping over Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
50 on the
Don't really think about it like that.
It's pretty special. It's pretty special. We can go Out of Control. So are you cool with Bonafide Hustler, Popping Them Things, and Hate It or Love It? Or do you think How We Do is better than Hate It or Love It?
I think How We Do is better than Hate It or Love It.
That's the conversation I was having. So we can go How We Do, Bonafide Hustler.
One of my favorite.
Popping Them Things.
One of my favorite posse cuts they did was the 300 shots, I think it was. Was it 300 shots? The one with Mace and
no, that
and the
count.
One with Yayo's on there, Prodigy's on there. There's a lot of people on there.
I was thinking about the and this may seem crazy. The what's the record? I Know You Don't Love Me.
Yeah, that is a posse. Yeah, that's a dope record.
Yeah, that shit cold.
Yeah.
So that was the top 5 that I wanted to do today. Top 5 G Unit like compilation tracks. So and Game was part of G Unit. That's why I was like, well, no, How We Do or Hate It or Love It would be in there. Bonafide Hustler off Young Buck's album, Mike.
You gonna make me go listen to that tonight.
I'm a bonafide hustler. Nigga, get out of line. I cut ya. Me, I'm about my paper. It's fuck ya. If you play games with mine, I come at you from behind with my 9. They say heaven's for church goers and hell's for the heathen. So I'ma just ball the fuck out while I'm breathing. 8th after 8th. What you know about that fast flip? Oh yeah, he's crazy on there.
Black Wealth and Power with the super chat says, my comment had nothing to do with the opinions on the show. I watched the show enough to know your balance. Oh yeah, I ain't talking about you. He said, in a lot of the non-casual circles, it's a problem if you're a stand for Jay too much. Why do you think that is? I think that
the media.
I think the fact that Jay gets so much hate also, unwarranted hate.
From who?
I mean, from the fans. I think a lot of fans who
We the first people to even step up and even question some of the stuff that Jay has done.
I agree.
The rest of these, because no, Mike, I'm gonna just call it what it is. The rest of these niggas is soft and they shook. They scared to talk about Jay.
It's true. They're scared to critique.
Yeah, we don't have those problems. I definitely don't have those problems because he don't control nothing in my life or no money. He ain't stopping according to hip hop from doing shit.
I think at the end of the day, though, Jay is ahead too, right? I think that Jay understands criticism when it comes from a right place because he criticizes his own stuff. I think what some people do in the media, they try to
overinflate the
they
criticism.
overinflate, or no, not overinflate the criticism. They'll kiss ass unnecessarily where, you know, I guess to get Jay's attention, and he's probably not going to, you know what I mean? Like, he don't respect that. He respects the fact that if you do say, you know what, this is why I didn't love 444. This is why I didn't love Holy Grail. Because when I hear Jay talk, he knows what it is.
Here's what
his favorite shit is my favorite shit.
Here's what people need to understand about the things that we say. And I'm going to say this. I've said this so many times. Mike, millions of rappers have existed.
Yes.
Across the world. And when we talk, we've only put one fucking guy ahead of him and we get called haters. What does that mean for what we saying about the rest of these dudes? If he's number 2, we got one guy ahead of him. One guy
that a couple years ago I didn't have ahead of him.
And people look at us like, y'all some fucking haters. It's like, he's number 2 on the list of millions. If we were to like start, like let's say there was a database, like ESPN has like a database where they can like rank everything and file everything analytically. If we were to rank and file every rapper who had ever lived and he fell at number 2 on our list, it'd be like 3 million rappers like he's number 2. It's like, you niggas is hating. It's like, no, we're just offering appropriate critique that you stands and you fans and you fuck boys never did.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, when it comes to Jay got a lot of dick riders, not fans. There's a difference. Right. He got a lot of dick riders, Mike. And just because we're not dick riders, I guess.
Well, I'm waiting on a super chat from Leroy Green after that.
Leroy?
Leroy
has made some insightful comments.
Leroy's gonna chill out on that one.
Please.
I think we got another super chat.
Got this dude at number 2, and they're like, y'all niggas be hating on Jay. It's like we just said Nas was the best MC of all time.
I mean,
that's
after
not hating
he just
on
put
Jay.
out 6 quality albums in 3 years.
Yeah.
Not to mention the other part of his catalog.
I had him at number 1 before this. You didn't, but what I'm saying is that it's not disrespect to slide one man ahead of this man.
No,
he's not God. It's like not no other MC should come before Jay. It's
I think the thing that's interesting here is the fact that he doesn't have to do anything to keep the title. It's like,
it's absurd.
He could just do nothing while everybody else in his class is working. And we got to be honest, 444 and Holy Grail are his last 2 offerings. And if we're going to be honest, those aren't his strongest offerings. Now, if you want to feel like 444 is a top 5 J album, I disagree. But whatever. You know that Holy Grail isn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at that point, how is that beyond critique? You're inactive. The last times you were active really wasn't your best stuff. It's what it is.
Okay.
Number 2 is actually great in this situation.
Everybody knows how much I love Rafael Nadal, Mike. Nadal was hurt all last year. Before he got hurt, he was 1 major ahead of Djokovic. He's been hurt all year. Djokovic won 2 more majors. Yeah. Djokovic is 1 up on Nadal now.
Yeah.
Mike, Nadal's the 2nd greatest player of all time right now. He's my guy. I hope he comes back this year and wins the Australian and the French and makes this another run with Novak. But right now, Novak Djokovic is the greatest tennis player of all time.
He is.
My guy is 2nd. And I can throw all these numbers at you. Like, I can tell you that Rafael Nadal has the best finals percentage in men's tennis history because he does, which means if he makes it to the final, he's probably going to win. He has a way better winning percentage than Djokovic and Federer in finals. Here's also the reality of the matter. Because of injuries, Mike, he hadn't played as many finals as Federer or Djokovic. Djokovic has more majors, has played in more finals, and his head-to-head record with Nadal, he's up by 2. Their major record is even, I believe. Novak, slight advantage. I'm a Nadal fan. I can't stand Novak. He's a fucking rude, arrogant. I don't like him personally. Greatest tennis player of all time right now for men, though.
Well, there it is.
And you have to be objective about these things when they occur because the reality of the matter, Novak went outside last year and updated his fucking resume, and my guy was fucking hurt.
You're right. Updating your resume is very important.
Everywhere else it matters when it's close. Why does it not matter when it's close with this?
Yeah.
That's that dick riding shit.
Miles 7 with the super chat says, I've always said it. Jay-Z controls hip-hop media. Almost no one in it criticize him. They're scared. They'll promote his new music and verse, but not Nas. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, Coop's telling the truth. Dre got a lot of fanboys. Dot with the super chat says, man, I went back to some Jay-Z old stuff, and that man was never on Nas's level at all. I never understood how anyone could have him above Nas. Patricio with the super chat says, Mike, Nas is my rap GOAT. I'm glad to see he's yours now, too. I got to admit, I do think that y'all have been a bit rough on Jay. 444 is a top 7 Jay-Z album.
Top 7 Jay-Z album. Ooh.
Top 7.
Ooh.
You heard that?
Fascinating. Ooh, not top 7.
Lucky 7.
Fuck out of here.
That's top 7.
It's like, it's a top 7 J album. That's that dick riding shit I'm talking about.
You know, I was impressed when I heard American Gangster back in 2007. God damn, that was like 16 years ago.
2006?
Nah, it was 7.
Okay, I'm just
Kingdom
checking.
Come was 6.
It's been a minute.
But yeah, I was impressed with that because at the time, 11 years in his career, I was like, yo, he's making one of his best albums 11 years in. Very impressive.
Except for when guys start making some of their best stuff, I don't know, 2 decades
But
in.
again, that was 16 years
so
ago
I'm saying
now.
that somebody is making some of their best stuff 2 decades going
Yeah.
in.
So it's like
Going into 3 decades.
what seemed impossible at that point for hip hop doesn't seem that impossible anymore. It was an incredible feat in 07, but now it doesn't seem as crazy, you know?
And here's the problem that people have with our critique. People are too stuck on the nostalgic of all the, and this is why I critique it, maybe harshly the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really just holding him accountable for all the shit that he said during his run, Mike.
You are.
I'm holding him accountable for the shit that he
Start
said
off
during
fast, ain't wheezing in the back.
I mean, he talked so much shit during his run.
He was on an incredible run.
Put your CDs out. Let's go song for song. I'm the illest nigga doing it till you prove me wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't he say that?
He did.
Did he not say that?
Said all those things.
He talks a lot of cash shit.
And now it's time to back it up.
And now it's
right?
time to back it up. And the reason, in the reality of the backup is that you done backed up a slot.
Guys are taking the brunch kit, by the way, guys.
No, I'm trying to go to the brunch. Fuck that. I don't know what Coop's over here talking about.
I'm
just
even like
giving
brunch.
honest critiques.
I don't even like brunch like that. Them and everybody at that brunch can kiss my entire ass.
No. That's Coop speaking. I'm trying to go to the brunch. Y'all gonna see me taking pictures at the brunch.
Right.
You know, exclusive. They probably don't let you get the photos out. I think they have to get the photos out for you.
Look here, ain't
Hey,
nobody.
Memphis, invite us.
Ain't
man.
nobody dying to take no pictures with these damn rappers. Ain't never been that dude. That's why
Oh,
it's
come
like,
on, Coop, man. Like, you know, Memphis, send us an invite. I know Memphis watches
I'm gonna tell you who I am when it comes to these rappers, since we're talking about Outkast, Mike. And I think I've told this story once before. One time I got off work with my man Lionel, French guy, used to play tennis with Lionel, used to whoop my ass. Lionel and I ran into Big Boy in an after-hour spot one night after we had gotten off work. And keep in mind, Lionel's from France. I mean, no disrespect to him. He's an Outkast fan. He's not the Outkast fan that I am.
Yeah.
He saw Big Boy. It might have well been motherfucking Christmas. He said, Coop, this is when I was still rapping. He's like, Coop, that's Big Boy. And he's losing his shit. I'm like, go ahead and go take a picture with him. He's like, Coop, you don't want to take a picture with Big Boy? Because like literally he's standing next to Big Boy and he's calling me over and Big Boy's looking at me and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You know, I've never been like that.
Like Big Boy was literally standing next to my man with his arm around him. My man is calling me over and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I always been this way.
Well, I mean, again, I don't even think it's kind of a pride or anything thing. But no, I want the brunch. I want to see what's there, man. I
don't like eggs like that. I don't like toast like that.
I want the golden syrup that they have.
Dude, is there freshly squeezed orange juice and pineapple juice there?
From heaven.
That might change my mind. I love some freshly squeezed juice.
I heard. I mean, they got the berries and everything and the trees that they're growing at the brunch themselves.
Do they have Meyer lemons to make the limoncello?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just asking.
I'll see if I can ask some of my insiders.
Find out, because they definitely not letting my black ass see.
But you worked at a record store as a youth. I was interning at radio at like 17. So, we were seeing people that we saw on TV. And it was not, you couldn't freak out, right? Like, that's not part of my personality anyway. But it was unprofessional to freak out in the first place. So it's like,
So, I've met Slick Rick twice. and I freaked out both times for my level of freaking out. Once
I
at the
remember
record,
running into Scarface at a Dr. King parade. I was working radio then too. I remember running into CeeLo, and you know, every time I just approach guys like, "Look, I respect your work." You know, that's it.
Right.
There's nothing else to really say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So this is what I mean. So 17-year-old me, Slick Rick walking into the store, by the way, in just some loafers and some jean shorts and like a little button-down shirt, like on some real casual shit. I was like, that's Slick Rick.
Now, if I see Rakim, that might be different.
It's like, oh shit, it's Slick Rick. And I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, oh, Slick's in the.
Yeah.
I'm like, who? I'm like, calm down, Coop. Calm down. When I was outside Madison Square Garden and he walked outside, the same thing happened to me again. I was like, Slick, I love you. My family loves you. He's like,
the clip that is being played right now is hilarious.
So
Shout out to the producer.
So Slick Rick's the only person that's ever even made me kind of like get up off that square a little bit. But that's because those were my cousins who brought me into hip hop. That was their favorite rapper growing up, and they introduced me to hip hop. So it's not even my fandom of Slick Rick. It's like I know what he means to my cousins Six and Mark, and that's where that comes from. Me, Mike, I mean this. I don't give a fuck about these rappers, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why on that level of meeting them. The few times that I have spoken to them just on some what up shit, like not on they're fucking assholes to people, Mike. And they know that they are. You try to show them love face to face and they treat you like you're some fuck boy.
I don't think everybody's like that.
No, the majority of the time. Doing that to me, nah, you ain't about to fade on me like that because security gonna have to get me up off your ass. Yo security, because I don't need security. Because I don't need security when I'm walking around the city, you feel me? And that's why I don't do that. I don't put myself in situations to do what I know I'm gonna do. It's like, oh, you finna talk? No, ain't no grown man finna talk to me crazy or put me down because he got on a gold chain and sold a couple million records. No, and that's exactly how they be acting. And I can name names and give you an examples of the few times I've done it. Where one time, you remember the airport situation? My people had to literally be like, "Don't do it. It's a Fed charge if you do it in the airport." I'm like, you're absolutely right. Let's just get on the train and go home.
Let me get to these super chats. Chris White with the super chat says, listen to American Gangster, Big Mike version. Sounds completely different. Chris White also says International Gangster, Jay-Z, Big Mike. El Magic says, Mike want to be a part of the Illuminati. I just want to go to brunch, man.
Mike, I can show you plenty of places where we can get some fresh croissants and fresh squeezed juice.
Yeah, I'm down to do that too. Patricia with the super chat says, Coop, 444 is a good album. I've been a Jay-Z hater and a Nas super fan since 2001. So it pains me a little to say that. Definitely not a Jay-Z dick rider. Mad Max with the super chat says, dudes hate Jay-Z like they hate Brady. You mad the 6th round draft pick became the belle of the ball and Jay-Z's hip-hop fly guy. And he told y'all how nice he was when you didn't believe it. And then you mad at his tone when he told you. Great events of the Slick Rick celebrate 35 years.
Hold on, pause, Mike. Jay-Z has not been an underdog since we were teenagers. That's what I'm saying. Is like stop running with this old narrative. He stopped being like
since '98. It was
Mike. No, stop that. Volume 1 went platinum, Mike. He stopped being an underdog after Volume 1. Volume 1 went platinum.
Jar won't smoke. What happened? I see that in the chat. Leroy Green with the super chat says, with Jay, you know the main argument folks are going to have about money. It's the main thing folks are mad about, and if you're a fan, they say you must love money. Mad Max with the super chat says, how Ish on Joe Budden podcast talk about Nas, and you in the chat, and do that with Jay. Same feminine B energy. Call Ish out for.
Hold on, Jarv up in the chat. I heard Jarv was up in the chat saying he created Problematic. People been hitting me up.
That's
quote your boy, you made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my gosh. Man, we got a couple more things to get to before we get out of here. I know we got to get out of here in a second. New Music Friday, right? Jeezy's leaving Def Jam. Is that a deal? You think that's going to change the way his music is? Think that's going to be... I was going to say you think we're going to hit Street Jeezy more, but Jeezy's always been signed to Def Jam. That's why this is very significant to me that he's leaving Def Jam. He said he was signed by Kevin Liles. Kevin Liles left Def Jam in 2002.
Whew. First of all, I thought it was L.A. Reid who signed Jeezy.
I was watching Jeezy.
We have some conflicting stories going on because if I'm not mistaken, L.A. Reid literally saw Jeezy. Jeezy came to the Def Jam offices with the rose gold set on before any paperwork was signed, and L.A. Reid literally asked him, "Will you please stop doing whatever it is?"
If it's an inaccuracy, Jeezy said it because on
Jeezy said that too. That's what I'm saying.
Because Jeezy said on his it was TV One, whatever special they do, right? He said that Kevin Lyle signed him to Def Jam. That's what he said.
I need him to get his story right. He said L.A. Reid signed him first. Get your story right.
Jermaine Johnson with the Super Chat says, if the quality gap can move you down a spot, shouldn't Biggie, Pac, Pun, Andre, etc. be off the top 20 list? All of their contemporaries have passed them in the quantity, but by double and quadruple, right? Okay.
I was rude to Jeezy once before I knew who he was. I was in a spot in Buckhead where he had bought out the bar. I was like, who the fuck this nigga think he is? I was standing right next to him at the bar. He looked at me. I was like,
I want to respond to what Jermaine said, though. If we're talking about the quantity thing, right? I get that. But when you're talking about Pac and Biggie specifically, they have volume of songs that are going to be here forever. Now, it's not going to be a lot of people that you could say, especially if we're talking like going 20 deep, like in the verses, right? How many people can you say could go 20 deep with Biggie, even though his catalog is short?
Like, actually, like, hold on.
Yeah.
As in competitively or...
competitively. And beat Biggie in a 20
That's
song
what I mean. Who's beating Big?
Yeah, like with 20, like you could have 10 albums and not beat Big in that.
Pac, Jay,
yeah,
Nas,
it's a very short list.
Rakim.
And this man only has
Ice
two
Cube.
albums. I don't know if Ice Cube could beat him. I mean,
you said competitive. That's why I was like, if you're talking about victory, it's Pac, Nas, and Jay. If you're talking competitively, I'm gonna put Ice Cube in there because Ice Cube can use the NWA stuff too. He can play some Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, he can.
Right, he can play. Fuck the Police. Right.
Scarface.
If I'm not mistaken, he wrote Express Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cube can give Big some run.
Big's a writer too. I think for me, man, that's what puts Big over too. Big's writing ability at that time. He wrote for Junior Mafia. He wrote a lot for Kim on Hardcore. Mm-hmm. I think he did some stuff for Puff on No Way Out. I think Mace and Jada were a part of that too. But that's a lot. You did all that and then you did a double album? That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And the feature run?
His work ethic is what might be going understated.
Yeah.
It's not like Big was chilling.
Yeah, he was not. And it was high-level shit, too.
He was recording at a Tupac and Nas-like pace, maybe.
And at the time, think about all the features he was on. All of them were killer. Can't Stop the Rain, Victory, Only You, with 112, and even the R&B stuff with Can't You See with Total.
Every time you call Meth the feature king, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, but...
Yeah, the Can't You See with Total or whatever. B-side with the Brat, all of these verses are great. I never knew that you never had a clue on who was the king of the street. So deep in a Range Rover Jeep, gats under the seat. Come on, man.
So the inflation that we have with Big is about the fact that we never got that Gasoline Dreams drop off from him.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen to what I'm saying. And Jay. And
Disco King Mario,
shout out.
Disco
King Mario, shout out. North Carolina in the house again. We got to see Jay and Nas have drop-off moments. Yeah. Tupac ascended. So he actually never really dropped off. He ascended, but he wasn't always what he was.
Right.
Stop thinking that wasn't going to happen to Big.
Yeah.
We got to be realistic.
Yeah.
Happens to everybody. Remember the second part of War and Peace from Ice Cube?
Yeah. Like,
not Volume 1. Volume 1 is dope. It's really, really underrated project. Volume 2, it was like, oh, there it go.
Yeah.
Like, okay. It's like, okay. It was bound to happen. Been listening to the nigga since 88. Took him till 99 to make something I didn't like.
It was going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Mad Max with the Super Chat says, hip-hop Mayweather, Mike. That's Jay-Z. You mad? He told you what he would be, and he been rapping since 89 and blew up in 98. How that not Brady-ish? Battling to get on. I mean, it's not Brady-ish because there's no Tampa Bay, right? You know, unless you guys feel like American Gangster somehow is Tampa Bay. And we're not, people aren't acknowledging the drop-off that Jay is experiencing now. That's the delusional part.
He hasn't made anything.
Like, let's just acknowledge that.
Okay, so the last thing that he made was classic level was in 2007. The last thing that he made was of great level was what, 2010? When did Blueprint 3 come out? 10? 11? 9? Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 and 9 were his last shining moments. We're in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom Brady was great. You know, like beginning to end. Okay, the end.
Yeah,
all right.
Kind of not the same.
All right, kind of not the same thing.
All right, so for the music that's coming out Friday, we got Ross and Meek. We got Jeezy dropping the album, first one off of Def Jam, or not on Def Jam, rather.
Is he independent now, I would assume?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a route for him.
And then so you got that and Benny. Do you think we have any album of the year contenders that are dropping Friday?
Benny.
Okay. Benny and Hit Boy.
Better be.
Yeah.
It better be.
The stakes is high.
I ain't joking.
Stakes are incredibly high. You know what worries me?
No more hall passes. I want a great album.
You know what worries me is that Benny was out here critiquing critics. And if you're in the studio cooking up what you're cooking up, you should welcome the criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know that I'm in the studio, and I don't doubt this, I'm just saying as a listener, I'm just being honest with the fans, that kind of worries me. Because if I know I'm in the studio cooking up my best shit, I don't give a fuck about critics right now.
I think differently.
Okay.
I truly, truly feel like he's about to deliver. I
hope so. Hope I'm wrong.
I have a few reasons to believe this. First of all, the last time I heard him and Conway on a record together, I actually thought Benny had the better verse. And
we should do a station head.
And I can't remember the last time. We should do a station head for Benny. He deserves it. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the last time. Matter of fact, I do remember the last time. Last time I thought Benny out-rapped Conway on a record they were on together was George Bondo. That was 2020.
Yeah.
So I do feel like he has leveled up a little bit, and Conway has taken a step back a little bit. So I feel like it's more of an even playing field just within his camp. Might be the best MC in his camp right now. Arguably, I think this album is going to tell it. And this camp's pretty big and pretty great, so that means something. But Mike, if we haven't learned anything from this run that we've been on doing this pod, well, Hit Boy's been the best album producer while we've been doing this run.
Yeah.
And he has the best album producer of the 2020s in his back pocket.
Yep.
And think about this. Here's how you need to look at it. Burden of Proof and KD1 came out the same year.
Yep.
About 3 months apart. Now, I don't know how you feel about the beats from KD1 and the beats from Burden of Proof, but I feel like Hit's gotten much, much better since then.
I think I feel the same way.
And he's become a better album sequencer and album maker. And so, only thing I don't want Benny to fall in the trap of trying to do is that timeless bullshit he did with Lil Wayne and Big Sean.
Yeah.
That's where that album got hurt to me. It's like, nah, nigga, Sly Green, One Way Flight. What's the Griselda joint?
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, $1 million deals in the cocaine spot. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's like he don't gotta do our favorites. He don't gotta do Rubber Bands and Wait. He don't gotta do 97 Hove and Rick. Yeah. I'm not asking him to do that, but I do feel like this is gonna be it. How about this? I expect this album at worst, to be a top 5 album this year. And that's at worst. At best, album of the year, realistic expectation is for me for it to be right behind Magic 3.
Okay.
I expect it to be better than the Killer Mike and the J Skis. And if it's not, I'm going to talk about them.
Jadarian with the super chat said, are we doing a station head for Benny? Y'all think we should?
I think he deserves one. I mean, we're supposed to support the disenfranchised.
Yeah,
and
I agree. That's what we're here for.
And for whatever critiques, and I know that I'm telling you, he's taking some jabs at us, most notably me, in the past. I don't give a fuck about none of that because I think he's great. But people like him are who I want to support because it's fucking absurd that Griselda only has 1 gold plaque, Mike.
Yeah. And we should support that.
And that's what I want to support. They've been too great for hip hop. They have put a battery in too many old niggas' backs who we love for them to be walking around with 1 gold plaque. And about that, I'm going to support their movement all the time. I don't give a shit how they feel about me personally. Like, literally could care less. So.
Well, shit, on that note, then, I think we got some more stuff that we could have covered, but I know we got to get up out of here. But
yeah.
On that note, I think we're gonna do the station head for Benny. What, tomorrow midnight?
We might need to hit up the homie LT and get some confirmation.
Yeah. We can hit up LT.
You heard LT shit?
I did. LT shit's nice.
We're gonna talk about LT soon.
Yeah, we should.
We should. We gotta support LT too.
It's funny, man. He hit me, and my days have been crazy.
I hit him when I was in Phoenix.
But yeah, he hit me, and he sent me the music. He kept hitting me like, "Yo, you heard this yet? You heard this yet?" I hadn't got to it yet. And I wasn't gonna lie to him, be like, "Yo, I heard it, whatever." When I finally did, I was like, "Yo, this is hard."
Okay, so originally when we did the cipher, I wanted to include LT in the cipher.
Oh, okay.
And now you see why.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's that's North Carolina again standing up.
Ah, there it is.
Carolina
shout out to Carolina.
Yeah, shout out to Rhapsody.
Shout out to Rhapsody. And yeah, Hit Boy needs to make a full album with her too.
And J. Cole.
Yeah.
Me and Six was on the phone today. So me and Six talked for like 2 hours today. I hit Six and was talking to him about a few things. And he called me right back, which he never fucking does. He was like, yeah, I left my wallet at home. I just looked at my job and told him I'm going home. I ain't coming back. So, so he was at the crib chilling, but we were having some of our hip hop talks. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Six kind of reminded me that it's like, don't lose course or sight of the mission, Coop. You know what I'm saying? This is my big cousin. And he's my cousin, but he's more like my big brother. We were raised like brothers. And he's like, don't lose sight of the mission. You know what I'm saying? And who you're doing this for and why you're doing it. You know why we started doing this is to put motherfuckers on.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Six started our shit to like put West Boulevard on, to build a legacy for our family. And so it's like, nah, like guys like LT, I want to put them on. But also two cousins just like me. When we started talking about Cole, he was talking about the Yachty record. Then he went and talked about the first person shooter record. I got to leave people with this. And he told me this. This is Cuz. And Cuz is more of a head than me. He's like, niggas don't understand that Drake's shit is so immaculate in terms of the money that he makes and how many trophies he has hanging on the wall that he don't ever got to release first person shooter. He knows he got bodied by Cole on it. He did that for the fans, like we were talking about.
And he did that for Cole to get another number one, too. Or number one. I think that might have been his first number one.
Right. Yeah. And so it's like, to hear my gangsta ass, like, hip-hop, like, you know what I mean? Like Six don't play that shit. Like, Six hate all, like, you think I hate the happy shit? No. He don't want to hate all the happy shit. So to hear him talk about Drake that way, I was like, damn. This is why I always listen to Fam, because even for like his aesthetics and his taste, he's always unbiased about it. But he also said the same thing I said. Stop all this feature shit and give us an album. North Carolina stand up.
North Carolina stand up. Chris Daugherty with the super chat says, Coop, don't disrespect Ross. Well, I hope that Ross and Meek Mill shit's great.
I talk about Rick Ross more glowingly than anybody else I know in this space.
Nah, that's real. I can't wait to hear what their album's like, too. I mean, because you got Jeezy and Ross pretty much dropping the same day, pretty much. You know what I mean? Obviously, Meek Mill's on there also. And I think both of these guys need this album.
They do.
I mean, all three of the guys that are releasing need this album.
How about this? Because of where Meek and Ross are in their careers, I'm not expecting an album of the year. Mm-hmm. But it can be a contender, but they're going to have to surprise me and prove it. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Like, what's your favorite Ross Meek song?
What's that one? It was Meek's single.
See My Problem?
It's the name
and
of that
why my
song.
expectations for the album are the way that they are, where it's like, I want to temper that and wait till I hear it.
But really, man, in my personal opinion,
So Sophisticated?
That's more on Meek than it is on Ross.
Oh, definitely, unequivocally.
Yeah.
But still, So Sophisticated is the best song they've done together?
So Sophisticated?
Yeah.
No,
Meek on So Sophisticated?
That's not the record I'm thinking about.
That's the best one in my opinion.
I'm a Boss is what I'm thinking about.
I like So Sophisticated better. Neither one of those records are good enough, though. Not for who they are. That's what I mean.
I'm expecting great production.
I'm going to be honest with niggas. It's Ross. It's the best beat picker of all time, arguably.
I think he might be. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this Monday. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be talking Jeezy. We're going to talk Ross and Meek. And we're definitely going to be talking Benny. Let's do the station.
Are we going to actually have to do a show where we talk about rap albums from beginning to end?
Yep.
You would think we were doing a hip-hop podcast where we review albums, Mike.
Yeah, that's where this thing started. For the people who are just now joining us, in 2020, people were dropping albums damn near every week. So we actually had new albums to actually do a whole podcast
Like
on.
in 2020, in 2021, I lost almost all my friends because there was so much rap for me to listen to on a week-to-week and day-to-day basis that I literally was cutting my face like, no, I got to listen to this shit for the show. So no, I'm not going anywhere. No, you kiss my ass. No.
Well, Friday's gonna be one of those days again.
You know.
Well, shit, we're gonna be able to listen to the Benny that at midnight with the people. So that should be fun.
Right.
All right, hit like and subscribe, everybody. We're going to keep y'all updated on that station head. And, yeah, appreciate y'all joining us.
Feels good to be back in the yo.
A2HH Live.
Gang.